Rival House Network.
Don't fuck with the Chuck.
Oh my God.
Hey guys, welcome to the show.
What's up, freaks?
Episode 7.
Man, has it been that long? 7 episodes already.
It has, man. I can't believe we're still kicking. Yeah, we're sorry that we took a little longer this month, but
been a delay there a little bit.
RiverMan's been a little too busy on his fantasy football kick. But I apologize.
I've been too busy changing fucking diapers.
That's right. So, we apologize for that. We're going to hope to get some more shows out to you. Next episode, we'll talk about it at the end of the show. But, but we have some special next episode. So,
definitely.
We should have a couple next month. We're going to do this next episode, then we're going to do a Halloween episode, which will be towards the end of October. And we're pretty excited about that one.
I'm getting really excited about
Me too. Oh, God, man.
Yeah.
Haunted houses are going to be, starting up here the next week or so, or maybe less than that. But
no, they're open right now.
Are they?
Yeah, they opened last weekend. Well, here in our neck of the woods, anyway.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah. I'm really excited.
Oh yeah, but
can you tell?
But yeah, what have you been up to, Lush? Anything?
Fuck, man. Like I said, changing diapers, doing the Mr. Mom thing still. Doing a bit of writing.
Mm-hmm.
Got some kind of cool things on the horizon as far as that goes. I don't want to say a bunch about that yet, but what I will say is I wrote a short film.
Cool.
And Behind the Mask is looking at
expanding,
getting into that kind of shit too, as well as I don't know that we'll ever stop doing the podcast because this is just fun. This is fun for us. It's shit that we do anyway. We sit around and talk about horror movies or just all kinds of movies, really. But yeah, we'd love to branch out and maybe get into making them as well.
Behind the Mask is no longer flaccid.
Yes, we're getting very hard right now.
That's right.
We'll let you know when our load is blown.
Hopefully not for a while.
Yeah, that'll take a while. We go a long time.
I'll speak for yourself.
But yeah, no, we will definitely keep you posted on any developments as far as that making that short film goes. I'm getting a good response to the script so far. So
it's pretty kick-ass, dude. I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's right up my alley. I mean, the type of films that I watch, and all you guys watch too. I'm sure you'd love it. So we'll definitely, here in the future, we'll get you in on that. We'll talk about it, and hopefully, down the road we can. Do our own review of our own movie or something.
Yeah, suck our own dicks.
That's right.
Yeah,
pull a rib out like Marilyn Manson and fucking go to town.
Well, one thing that we've also been looking at doing, which needs to be done, is getting up our own legit website.
Yeah.
And so if that's done, which hopefully it will be here within the next couple of months, is what we're shooting for.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, we're shooting for that. And if that is done here within the next couple of months, once this short film is finished, maybe we could do a little limited screening or something on the website so people could check it out. Maybe run it for 24, 48 hours and then pull it or something like that. I don't know, just something to stay tuned for. We'll definitely keep you guys posted. So. Just wanted to talk a little bit about that.
Of course,
for a second.
Once we get that up, we always want your feedback on it too.
Of course.
Tell us how much you fucking hate it, but we're doing it, and we're doing it for fun. And
if you're gonna say that you didn't like it, definitely give us reasons.
Yeah,
just be like, "Oh, it sucked."
Yeah, exactly.
Tell me why it sucked. I do appreciate that kind of feedback because, if I think that you have a valid point, then that can only help me get better or us get better at making it. So, or at making those. So,
and it's kind of the thing I kind of got excited about this. Lush and I were talking when he was figuring out the idea, but it's kind of an homage to a certain style of filmmaking, which I've been really digging here the past couple months.
Yeah,
and
it's not the grindhouse exploitation style that we've talked about a lot and that we are huge fans of.
Yeah,
it's not that. In case you were wondering,
but,
something different.
It's definitely a different style, and it's something that I'm looking out for. Like I've been picking up these certain sort of films pretty recently, and I've been really digging them. Let's just say that, but we'll keep you up to date on that for sure. But before we get into our, we have 3 or 4 reviews we're going to talk about here about a few films that we got from Synapse and Camp Motion Pictures.
Yep.
Did you want to talk about any news or anything, Lush? Was there anything special that you saw out there? I mean, there's some things going on.
Yeah, there's some stuff going on. Nothing that, we got Season 2 of The Walking Dead coming up here on October 16th.
And that's something we're definitely going to dip into in the next few shows because I'm a huge supporter of The Walking Dead, and it's the one TV show on cable that is, it's better than most films out there, zombie films out there.
Yeah, that's good.
First season was great, and I'm definitely looking forward to the next season. So we're definitely going to be talking about that here, as the season progresses with The Walking Dead. Probably each podcast we're going to go into, the couple weeks episodes, maybe do something like that, and just bullshit about that. And you guys can, throw some feedback to us too, what you guys think about it.
Yeah. While we're on the TV kick too, I don't know if you've seen any commercials for it or anything, but a new show on FX called American Horror Story.
I've heard of that.
Have you seen anything about that?
I haven't seen it yet.
It looks really interesting. I'm really curious. I'm definitely going to watch it when it comes on because it looks quite strange.
Yeah.
If you've seen the commercials for it, definitely let us know what your thoughts are on it. If you think it's going to be good or if you think it looks like a piece of crap or whatever, and it's something that I'm definitely going to check out when it comes on. And
for sure.
That I believe is supposed to be starting up beginning of next month or beginning of October, I believe.
I fucking love this time of year, man. It's
awesome.
I don't know, the autumn feel, the crisp air.
Yeah, just everything gets a little kind of...
The panties drop. No, not that. But I just love this time of year. It's
everything gets a little creepier.
That's right.
I love it.
And of course, more horror films on TV, but mostly shitty horror films.
And all edited
for TV.
God damn it.
Which, if it was, a Monster Vision, but it's not, or the only good things out there are pretty much, I was watching that Elvira movie Macabre quite a bit, and that was pretty kick ass, but haven't seen it recently. But
yeah, those are fun.
Other than that, hopefully there'll be some gems on there, maybe.
Yeah.
Or IFC or something. But,
yeah.
From that, let's jump into the. Let's jump into the reviews. Thanks to Synapse and Camp Motion Pictures, and let's jump into the basement. Camp Motion Pictures VHS box set / DVD, retro 80s, etc. Here we go. All right, the basement box set.
Camp Motion Pictures.
That's right, and this is a big box VHS. Which has the movie The Basement, which is kind of like a creep show type of movie where there's, a bunch of different short films like in one actual movie. And I think the running time's like only 110 minutes. And I think this one was shot on 8mm or Super 8 actually. And they overdubbed the audio on it, which is kind of funny, It doesn't really match the actual film.
That's always entertaining.
But I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I've been really digging some of these movies lately, like the whole shot on VHS and the Super 8 and everything, because it's something we can do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just kind of a cool idea.
Done in the time that we grew up in and shit,
Oh, exactly. And I mean, this thing is fucking huge. Like, I got this in the mail. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what the hell? And it comes with the DVD, and it's a 3 DVDs set. It also comes with the movies Captives, made back in 1987, Video Violence, and Video Violence 2, which are fucking great movies. And also Cannibal Campout.
Cannibal Campout.
Which we are very fond of.
Yeah, I love Cannibal Campout.
Plus, this movie actually comes with a VHS copy of The Basement, which is a red VHS. We're actually looking at it right now. It's pretty fucking kick-ass to have this little box set.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Did you kind of want to talk about any of these films? You've seen Cannibal Campout, haven't you?
Yeah, I did see Cannibal Campout. I actually have that one by itself on DVD. Mm-hmm. I had found it at a... where the hell did I find that fucking movie? It was at a local...
music store?
Yeah, a local music store. And they also have, used DVDs there for sale. And that's where I found it. And, based on the title alone, I was just sold.
Yeah.
Cannibal Campout. I'm like, yeah, I want to watch that. So, yeah, I picked it up. And, yeah, I really, really enjoy Cannibal Campout. It's, obviously, shot on video.
Mm-hmm.
And... which I enjoy. And, it's your basic story. These kids going out, kind of college-age kids going out camping in the woods, and they run into some undesirables, let's say, out there in the woods. And madness ensues. Cannibalistic madness ensues. But, yeah, no, it's really fun, like, campy, good, like, practical gore and shit. Yeah. Practical effects,
Of course, the acting's not great, but that's what I love about it, though.
You gotta think about the time that it was made, and these were just kids making a fucking movie,
Exactly.
Like, it was just something they wanted to do, and they enjoyed doing it, and that really comes through. The quality obviously is not there.
Yeah.
But that's what's so great about it, I think. That's what I enjoy about it.
And also this has the movie Video Violence.
1 and 2, right?
Yeah, 1 and 2. It's a gore so classic. A young couple opens a video store in a small town populated by violent, addicted amateur filmmakers, led by demented Howard and Eli. Which, I watched this movie and, oh God, it's 80s written all over it. It's, the old VHS shops, you walk in and, there's people that are shooting like, VHS, like movies of killing people, and they leave it in one of, the VHS cases.
Making snuff movies, basically.
Making snuff movies, yeah, and they come across it, and of course they try to bring it to the authorities, and I'm not going to get too much more into it, but I really, really dig this movie. The video violence is great. The practical effects are great. It's a shot on VHS movie, which, is I really like. But I would highly recommend that. Then, of course, I was talking a little bit about The Basement. I kind of want to get a little bit more into that. 4 strangers are summoned into a basement, abandoned house by a mysterious entity known as the Sentinel. And one after another, they are forced to witness heinous deeds they have yet to commit. You know what? I enjoyed The Basement for what it was. I would say I really, really like, the video violence and the Cannibal Campouts. I would put those over, The Basement, but this box set I think it's fucking worth it, man.
It's a monster box set, and it looks awesome. Like, the artwork and stuff on the cover is fucking sweet.
Yeah, and it's, God, man, I don't know much more to say. There's also, like, a couple shorts on there. The shorts are actually pretty cool. Like, one of them was a Super 8 short, a silent film, and the other one was kind of a reeker type of guy that goes around and I think I don't know. It's just a low budget, short, like 10-minute short. That's really cool. So this packs a punch, man. This has 5 hours and 48 minutes of footage on it, of movies and what have you. But I would highly recommend it. I'd go out and pick it up. If I didn't get this from Camp Motion, I would buy it.
Yeah.
Just for the collector's aspect and all these movies in one. I mean, where are you going to find that? I mean, you don't have to go out and buy all these movies. I mean, they come in one box set.
Yeah, and that's, I have a couple of Camp Motion pictures, the retro 80s horror collection that I had just found here and there. I got the, like I said, Cannibal Campout, and then the other one I had, which you said there's a trailer for it, is Ghoul School.
Yeah, it's on here too. Yeah, Ghoul School.
Zombie flick, which was a lot of fun also.
Yeah, just the trailer, not the actual film. But Ghoul School's great too.
We gotta save the band.
That's right. I've been really surprised with the Camp Motion. If you like the the low budget practical effects horror.
Oh yeah, just good old 80s cheese, man.
That's right.
It's awesome.
And you know what? I used to not be big fans of this, but past couple of years it's just been growing on me, man. It's I don't know what it is. It's fucking spreading.
Oh yeah, I love it.
I don't know. Would you want to jump into a little Synapse?
Yeah, next we got our the stuff that we received from Synapse Films that they were kind enough to send us, and thank you again to them. Thank you again to Camp Motion Pictures. But yeah, we got a few from Synapse Films. First one we could talk about is the Exterminator, which they just 80s revenge classic from it came out in 1980. Good revenge classic. They just released it on Blu-ray DVD combo pack.
Great exploitation movie, and
it is.
God, let me tell you about this fucking movie. This Blu-ray. I mean, this is the first time I actually seen this film. I hear everybody who's been talking about it. I keep holding out because every time I want to pick this up, it's not the uncut version. Not the uncut version. This is supposed to be the uncut version.
Yes.
I have yet, I haven't seen the other ones on VHS and everything. I hear the quality's shit. But this fucking Blu-ray looks great, man. The color correction they did with this looks fucking spot. I mean, the colors just pop right out of the screen. If you got a Blu-ray player, I would definitely pick this one up. I'm not trying to suck people's, Synapse's dick or anything, but, these, I mean, they're putting out some pretty good shit right now, man.
They're doing a lot of good things, man. They definitely are. I mean, one of the, on our very first show, the film that we reviewed was a Synapse release called Singapore Sling.
Yeah.
That they were putting out, and they did a great job with that one, too, with the transfer and all that. Yeah.
And I was really surprised on this transfer because a lot of people said the VHS and the other, I don't know if it was an Anchor Bay DVD. Anchor Bay put it out, and then some other company put it out, and they said
those prints were just beat to shit.
Yeah, they said they weren't very good prints, but this print was, I was blown away. I thought it was really good. Some scenes were, really, really good, and some scenes were just good, but I mean, overall, I think it was definitely a great movie. I mean,
it looked really nice, and I don't think it was too polished.
No, it wasn't too polished. No,
which I was happy about. But yeah, it was a great movie, written and directed by James Glickenhaus.
Yeah,
and starring Christopher George, Samantha Egger, and Robert Ginty. And this movie actually, if anybody cares, Roger Ebert called it a sick example of the almost unbelievable descent into gruesome savagery in American movies. And if that's not an endorsement that I love.
Exactly, man. Didn't he say I Spit on Your Grave is the worst movie you've ever seen?
Yeah.
What the fuck does he know? But I mean, that's a good endorsement, though.
God punished him. He had a stroke, so.
Oh, God, dude.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Roger. But no, he likes to hate on these types of movies,
Yeah.
But, that's his opinion, whatever. But yeah, they put his quote on the back of the movie, and the way I look at it, I'm like, if I see that quote, I'm like, okay, I want to see this movie.
No, exactly. I feel the same way.
And, I don't think Ebert meant it to be that way, but that's how I take it. And this was a lot of fun, man. I mean, it's a guy, Christopher George, he plays the main character. And he's in Vietnam. Him and his platoon or whatever, they get captured by Charlie. Mm-hmm. And they start being, tortured. He's witness to the beheading of one of his comrades, yeah, and which that was like an awesome decapitation.
That was pretty crazy, man.
Fucked up, but the decapitation itself, looking at it from an effects standpoint, was fucking awesome looking. I really, really liked it. So they end up getting out of it. A buddy of his, they break free and they get rescued and they make it back to normal life. And
sometime later, I think does his buddy get the shit kicked out of him? He gets paralyzed or something?
Yeah, well, they're working on like a kind of a dock type area, I think, and there's these kind of thug type guys, this gang that goes in and tries stealing shit out of this storage locker or something, and they catch him, and initially those guys kick the shit out of the gang and get him to run off, but then that gang ends up finding his buddy, and they beat him almost half to death, and he ends up being paralyzed.
Yeah.
And so then Christopher George's character is understandably pissed off, and as his friend had a wife and 2 daughters, I believe, 2 young daughters.
Yep.
So he's pissed, and he wants revenge, and he wants them to pay for what they did to his friend.
Oh, and do they pay?
Oh, they do. Do they ever?
But yeah, that's a great transfer. It's a great Blu-ray,
yeah.
And if you're a fan of exploitation, everything, revenge flicks, I would definitely recommend it. I was pleasantly surprised because
it was for me. It was right up there with like Rolling Thunder, which I really enjoyed.
I'm a huge Rolling Thunder fan.
That was a great kind of revenge flick from the later '70s.
Which if they ever put that on a Blu-ray, I'd fucking blow my snot all over somebody.
But yeah, I put this one kind of up there along those lines as well, man. I had a lot of fun with it, and so yeah, definitely check it out. Go to synapsefilms.com and you can surely pick it up on there.
Yeah. Or else you can try eBay and pick it up on the cheap.
Yeah,
which would help out too.
Yeah.
Or Amazon.
Let's see, another one that they Synapse Films sent to us is a flick called Frat House Massacre, which
this came out pretty recently.
Yeah, fairly recently, 2000. Synapse I think it was made like back around 2008. Yeah,
they picked it up. Right?
But they distributed it this year. It just came out this year in 2011. It's a Frat House Massacre. I mean, if that title doesn't just grab you, I mean, what the hell? It was a lot of fun. It was from the creators of a flick called Camp Slaughter, which that's another one that just sounds great.
Yeah.
And it's kind of an homage to like the late 70s, early 80s slasher flicks.
Yeah.
And this is the director's cut, I believe, of this movie.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So it's got like 20 minutes of additional footage in it. I think the runtime's like 116 minutes. So
I know. I couldn't believe the runtime on that when I first saw it. Yeah. Wow, for a horror flick? That's pretty crazy.
It's just shy of 2 hours, and so it's got, a little more violence, a little more gore, a little more nudity, which all three of those things are fucking plentiful in this movie. One thing I do want to mention about this, the music score by Claudio Simonetti, who was, I believe, with part of Goblin. From back in the day there. He did the score to this, and it's fucking awesome. Like, total fucking 70s horror movie score.
Yeah.
It was great. 70s, early 80s.
And this one, I mean, it's a 2-hour movie, but it doesn't feel like 2 hours.
No, not at all, man. I mean, the pacing is great.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I didn't think it dragged.
Not at all.
At any point. And it says it's inspired by actual events. set in the year of 79, and it's kind of just going into
disco a little bit.
Yeah, there's some disco. Yeah, that's one thing this movie had, which a lot of the movies in the 70s had was like a kind of a dance, like a disco dance sequence. This movie had it. This movie had it. That was awesome, and but yeah, it's kind of diving into the world of these frat guys that kind of the hazing type of shit, which I think that's where they get the inspired by actual events. Some of the brutal issues with hazing, that still go on today. Yeah. But I think it started getting really bad back then, and so that's kind of what it's about. And these frat guys, this fraternity, they are just getting more and more ruthless with their hazing, and ultimately are ending up killing people. And so this guy, he is not liking what's going on. They end up killing him, and his brother actually becomes of age to go to college and goes to that same university and ends up kind of getting himself involved with that fraternity. So it's kind of almost a revenge kind of feel to it also.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty good flick.
It was fun, man. It was actually kind of epic almost. Yeah. Like, I mean, just with the runtime and like, it had that longer runtime, which, like I said, it didn't hurt it at all.
There was actually a little bit of a cult following for this movie too. I saw a lot of people were wondering when this was coming out, and then Synapse finally picked it up. So surprisingly, I did a little research, but this is probably years, maybe 6 months ago. Yeah, and there is quite a bit of a cult following for this movie. So
yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I think most of the people that listen to our show would probably enjoy it as well. Yeah. It's got some humor in it. It's got some decent gore, and there are definitely, like a lot of that hazing scene, a lot of those hazing scenes and stuff, they're pretty fucking disturbing, really. Yeah. Because it's kind of some fucked up shit. The way it all unfolds is a hell of a lot of fun. And like I said, for just every aspect of the movie, for the humor, for the gore, for the score by Claudio Simonetti, and just everything about it. It was just a hell of a lot of fun. If I had one complaint about the movie, it was just a little too polished, I thought.
No, I agree.
Like what I was saying with the Exterminator, that wasn't the case for the Exterminator. This one, obviously the Exterminator was made back in 1980. Yeah. This one was made in 2008. Yeah. But they got a good late 70s feel to it, as far as the outfits, the music, some of that stuff. But it was just too pretty, too nice to look at. I thought if they would have maybe just beat it up a little bit.
They took a piss on it or something.
Yeah. It would have been a little. You would have got that feel a little bit more. Then again, a lot of people are doing that now, with the cracks and pops and all that shit. So I understand somebody not wanting to do that, but yeah, definitely check it. It's definitely worth checking out. I think
I enjoyed it. That was pretty solid film.
Yeah, that's another one. You can go to synapsefilms.com and check that one out too. It's a hell of a lot of fun. I think all you freaks out there will really enjoy it. So check that shit out, motherfuckers.
Yeah, we got another Synapse for next show. I think Wide Open with Christina Lindbergh.
Ooh.
So keep your ear open for that one.
Oh, and they do. I do want to mention they just recently released Maniac Cop.
Oh yeah, Maniac Cop
and Frankenhooker. Yeah, Frank Henenlotter's great film.
That'll be coming out on Blu-ray here pretty soon, I think.
Yeah. They are releasing both of those on Blu-ray. I believe they're both available now. I think
they might be.
I'm pretty sure. If they're not available now, they are coming very, very soon.
Coming very soon. We'll say that.
Yes. So definitely look for those. If you're a fan of the Maniac Cop movies, this is the first one on Blu-ray.
That's right.
And then Frankenhooker on Blu-ray.
Yeah, hopefully we can review those two for you.
Yeah.
Tell you if those are worth picking up on Blu-ray, the quality and everything. So
yep.
But, yeah, let's run into the next segment. Let's get into films we watched recently with our good friends from Exploited Cinema.
If you've ever considered stepping behind the beaded curtain at a sleazy video store, if you've ever watched something so vile that you had to lock the door behind you, if you currently have a VCR still connected to your home theater, then get yourself over to Exploited Cinema at exploitedcinema.blogspot.com. Bat32 and Jdog always keep it greasy, and remember to keep telling yourself
it's only a podcast.
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 What it is, peeps. This is Jdog.
What's up, Bat32 here.
And we're going to be bullshitting with them here for a little bit. We're going to be talking about movies we watched recently, and
who knows where it will go.
Exactly.
We gonna do like an organized roundtable here, or what?
Yeah, whatever you guys want to do.
Sweet.
First of all, for our listeners, kind of talk about your show a little bit. I mean, we've talked about it a little bit, but we haven't really gotten depth of what you guys talk about and everything, and kind of where you can find your show at. And I don't know, take it.
Educate these cats in Bat32.
Well, we're basically exploitation-oriented podcast. We talk about horror films and mainly cult films, out-of-print gems, hard to find stuff, rarities more or less. We're always searching for that diamond in the rough, so to speak.
What's funny, too, a lot of times, like, when it's my turn to pick a show, I almost go too obscure for Bat32 here. I'm trying to review fucking movies we can't even find torrents of, and some people don't even know if they really exist. He's like, where do you get these titles from? He asks me sometimes. Yeah, we definitely keep it obscure, though. Like, we do some more mainstream stuff, but like I did with Furox, and we just like to fucking open doors to movies that have been forgotten for years, like forgotten masterpieces, pieces of shit, whatever. We review it all.
Well, that's good, I think, for people that, I mean, even people, like, there's a lot of them that I fucking haven't heard of course, and, I appreciate that because it's stuff that I definitely would want to check out, so it's good that you guys are kind of bringing them to the light a little bit more,
Mm-hmm. Well, I hate all the new stuff. I don't watch really anything new, barely. And I live in the 70s and 80s, so like I don't even care to talk about new stuff. I just like to rediscover all these hidden gems, really. Yeah. That's the focus of our show, to a point.
Well, we're the guys that still have VHS players hooked up to our home entertainment system, as our promo says, I mean, and that's true. I mean, I'm sitting here in the living room looking at my little ghetto four-head Sanyo, and it's, the power's still on, ready to rock and roll when a VHS needs to be thrown in, so,
I can take it a step further. I got a Betamax hooked up to my TV with the VHS on top of the Betamax, actually.
Nice. You should take it back to caveman days, man. You got all those old setups and shit.
I got a Super 8, CD, all that shit, working order, hell yeah.
J-Dog's got fucking cave drawings on his wall and shit.
Those movies that were just like on paper and you just flipped them open.
Yeah.
I got that shit too.
There's like a fucking cave drawing and he lights a candle and just lets the candle flicker so it looks like the picture's moving.
It's just a picture of tits. It's like caveman. Oh yeah.
Tits bouncing.
And like a caveman beating another caveman's head in or something. That's this horror movie.
That's exploitation, yeah.
Exploitation, right. Well, no, that the woman has to be with her tits hanging out in the background for it to be exploitation.
Well, I said there were stick tits there, too, yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
It's like a 42nd Street movie. It's like you can either jerk off to it or watch it as like a fucking action film.
But it's kind of like those little peep booths, because like once the candle or whatever burns down, that's the end of the show. So
yeah.
Hope you're quick on your wick so you can get it off before the candle goes out. Yeah.
That's some whole unexplored territory there. Some cave exploitation.
Exactly. We need to put like caveman movies together.
I want to see that.
Ones,
yeah, we got to run with this.
Caveman exploitation.
There was some dirty, nasty things going on back in the caveman days. I'm sure of it.
Well, yeah, like What are some of them movies like Clan of the Cave Bear, and there's another one. I always remember that with the caveman, the women were down at the stream, and this guy just runs up behind the fucking chick and just starts hammering her from behind real fast. Just straight caveman ass.
Yeah, well, that was their worst fear, was that somebody from the outside of the tribe would come in and try to rob them or kill them or mainly rape their women.
Yeah,
that was
this guy just came up like it was fucking just there for the taking, just flipped up her fucking loincloth and give her a jab and away.
It was then. I mean, there was no rape. I mean, yeah, you got murdered if you got caught, but yeah, there was no law of the land, so you know.
Yeah, man, I would love to see the love child of like a caveman movie and a good like nasty 70s exploitation film.
That shit would look like Rocky Dennis, just all deformed elephant man.
Caveman eroticism, maybe a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
There you go.
Two hairy people rubbing up on each other.
Be some serious bush, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But do you want to start things off, Lush? What have you watched recently?
Let's see. The first one I'll start off with, which is a movie that I've been really pimping a lot lately, is called Dead Hooker in a Trunk.
Never heard of that one.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Love the title.
Written, directed, and starring Jen and Sylvia Soska. They are absolutely fucking the coolest fucking set of twins ever. They run Twisted Twin Productions. They got another movie coming up here soon called American Mary that looks like it's going to be really cool also. But basically, Dead Hooker in a Trunk is exactly like it fucking sounds. There's the two twins. One of them's this is what the character names are. One of them's a badass, and that's what they call her. Or at the end credits, it says badass Sylvia Soska. The other one is like kind of more of a goody two shoes. They have a guy that's like a kind of a Jesus freak. That's the goody two shoes friend. And then like a fucked up junkie like rocker chick. And they come out one morning. They're going to pick up the goody two shoes friend, the Bible thumper from church group, and they find a dead hooker in their trunk. And basically madness just ensues from there. I mean, they run into like Yakuza and a fucking hotel manager that has a goat tied up underneath his desk. And just all kinds of fucking shit happens. And it's a really, really fun ride. Kind of a good, like, it's an exploitation film, really.
Exploitation-filled roller coaster, it sounds
like. Exactly. There's a lot of different elements.
Obscure stuff popping up, like you say, like a goat under the fucking desk. It's like, that's kind of weird shit. It's like, it has no explanation. It's just there. Fuck is
it sounds out there. Yeah, it sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Just to go off topic, like I know the last time you were recommending a movie to us, like that Red, White, and Blue, I went and checked that out.
Yeah, I checked that out too. It was great.
I love that movie. I've been putting that one over too.
It's got old boy there from The Lost. You've seen The Lost, haven't you, J-Dog?
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, and he was
J Pie or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Ray Pie, yeah.
Ray Pie.
Motherfucker was a pie anyway.
Yeah.
That's all I knew. But
I liked him a lot better in The Lost, I think. But, the first time that I watched Red, White, and Blue, I didn't care so much for Mark Center in that. But the second time that I watched it, I liked him a little bit more. But
it was a different kind of psychopath. Like it was the first time a character like that like broke his cherry. Whereas like Ray Pie, he was already fucked in his head. Like he probably was like killing animals and just a different degree, I guess. You know.
Yeah. But yeah, Red, White, and Blue is a fucking amazing movie.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to interject with that, saying like going on your recommendations, I'm really stoked for this one too because the last one was great.
Glad you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, this one's a lot more fun, a lot more comedic,
more tongue in cheek, not so serious of a tone.
Exactly. And that's one of the things I loved about it was the just the real on the nose title.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a lot of fun. It's going to be coming to. I know IFC Midnight is working on the DVD right now.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be, I think. the Soska sisters were saying sometime around January for a release on that. So be looking for that. I found it actually on like a cable on demand, like a video on demand type of thing. And I believe they're still doing the festival circuit right now too. I know the sisters are going to be going up to the Toronto International Film Festival here. I think this week. I think that starts on like the 20th, or I think it started today.
Something to look for.
Yeah, I think I think that film festival started today and it goes until the 20th possibly.
Sweet.
But yeah, definitely look for that. Look for that movie. It's a hell of a lot of fun.
Well, I love the title. It's got like a memorable title, like almost like Hobo with a Shotgun, like
right.
Yeah, it's literal.
Trunk, like fucking.
I heard about that before. Hooker in a Trunk. I heard about that before I heard about Hobo with a Shotgun. I heard about that when it first began production. So.
Yeah. There's been a lot of buzz about it.
That's a Canadian picture too, isn't it?
Yes, they are Canadian.
Yeah, I thought that.
Only good stuff comes from Canada.
Hey, they've been coming out
all
with
the good independent shit. Yeah.
Canada seems to be the head pushers right now as far as like the new age of exploitation films goes. The way I see it, anyway.
I agree. We just on our last show we reviewed that movie Sweet Karma, which was out of Canada, and I fucking love that movie too.
You guys would dig that, yeah.
Well, you know why I think why it's happening is because like a lot of people don't realize. I mean, obviously Jdog and the Changeling, you guys talked about on the Ferox. It's really what Canada is becoming old Hollywood now. You think, well, that's weird, but how many films have been shot up there, and how long have they been shooting up there since the late 80s?
Tax breaks and shit they get,
yeah. So if you look at that and you want to compare to American exploitation cinema. American exploitation cinema kind of blew up after that old Hollywood system of the old westerns and all that from the 40s and the 50s. You got into the 60s and the 70s, and these young guys like Scorsese and stuff were doing independent, grimy shit. So I think that's why Canada is producing so much, because they're in a different phase of their film industry up there now.
Well, it's not only that, but it's like a lot of these guys, like it's not just production companies coming in and making these films, which that's going on as well, but we got like homegrown fucking guys born and raised in Canada, raised on exploitation and stuff, that are pushing it to their own level now. Guys like Eisner and Ryan Nicholson, and there just seems to be a new guy in Canada all the time that's making another exploitation film. And it's really putting us on the map as far as the whole exploitation scene's going. This is the way I see it anyway, being Canadian and everything.
Oh, I agree, man.
Like, we got a lot of good young directors in this genre coming out of Canada right now.
A lot of good up-and-comers, and Jason Eisner seems to be leading the pack right now as far as mainstream goes, because he is mainstream to an extent,
Yeah. Ryan Nicholson. Sorry, I was just going to say Nicholson, he's more bigger in Europe and stuff. Mm-hmm. But he's getting out there too. His shit's way out there though, like Hanger and stuff. Like,
but Ryan's been doing this longer than Eisner, hasn't he? I mean, Eisner started up 5-6 years ago, and Nicholson he's had stuff out since the late '90s, hasn't he?
Yeah, he started in special effects, like and everything. So he has a whole Hollywood background.
Yeah, getting back into it. I don't know. You guys can make fun of me or whatever, but I haven't had a whole lot of time, to watch movies or whatever. But I did watch one, and it's directed by Ben Affleck. So don't shit on me too much.
I see why you're setting this up.
The Town.
The Town.
Yeah, that's not bad, man. The masks when they're robbing the bank are pretty creepy and shit.
Yeah, dude, it's like the fucking Mother Teresa mask or something, or the nun masks, which are
Is this a horror film?
No, dude, it's a drama, crime drama.
Caper movie.
About a group of guys or whatever that rob banks, and one of the guys ends up falling for one of the girls. They kidnap, or they don't kidnap her. They take her hostage. They let her go and everything, and Ben Affleck ends up falling for this girl, and she doesn't know his real identity towards the end and everything, and I don't
directed
know.
this?
He directed this, yeah.
And
he
stars in it. That's terrible when these guys do a movie.
Does this have Casey Affleck in it too?
It doesn't have Casey, which I'm a huge fan of Casey.
Yeah,
Affleck.
Casey's way better than Ben. He blows him out the fucking water, dude.
And
I like Ben though. I don't.
Lush,
I think
Lush
he's not
and
a
I are
bad
huge
director.
fans of Gone Baby Gone. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but
Another one
I
he
think
directed.
so. Sounds familiar.
Yeah, that was Ben's, I think, directorial debut. Was that one?
Yeah. No, I think he's a decent director. Like as far as these long-winded crime melodramas go,
Yeah.
I think he does a good job of them.
and this
I
one
think
also had,
I think he's a better director than he is an actor. So.
I agree.
Yeah,
You know what? I definitely agree with that. And it also has Rebecca Hall in it, and she's another star in the flick. And Chris Cooper, which I love Chris Cooper. He's also in like American Beauty. I don't know if you guys seen American Beauty.
Yeah.
He's Ricky Fitz's dad. You know
The one that shoots Kevin Spacey at the end.
the homophobic, you know, type of military guy. But
Apologies to anybody that hasn't seen American Beauty, and I just ruined it for you.
fuck him.
Fuck him.
But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with this movie. I went into it thinking I'm not a huge Ben Affleck fan, but I really dug it, and I mean I dug some of his other work, like of course Good Will Hunting and stuff, and Gone Baby Gone. I'm not a Daredevil fan by any means, but
You're down with Armageddon, eh?
not Armageddon or Pearl Harbor is a piece of shit, but he has his moments, but that was basically
Jersey Girl.
God.
That was terrible too.
Hey, see, I didn't mind it. Like my motto
Really?
is, I've never seen a bad movie though.
You really like Jersey Girl? Are you
I
kidding
didn't say I love it and I'm putting it over. I said I watched it and I didn't pull.
Probably
my
like
eyes off
that
it.
Geely movie he was in too.
Fuck
You know,
Negro,
Yeah.
please. Fucking no, give you an internet slap right
You
now.
know, I heard, was it Tom Green? He was reviewing it and he called it Giggly. That's a good fucking title. That describes it
terrible.
perfectly. That's how you feel when you watch that stupid fucking mindless bullshit.
Never saw it.
The highlight of this
I
film,
never
though,
saw
was definitely Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he's spot on in this.
He isn't that the guy who played Dahmer in
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's fucking great, man.
Yeah,
that guy
and
gives me chills every time he comes on screen.
He's blown
Carl
up too.
Crew's a better Dahmer. Sorry,
Who's that?
Carl Crew from Blood Diner.
Which one of you guys want to jump?
Wow,
Shit they
sure.
recently watched.
Fuck, I'll jump in. It's ain't as new as the shit you guys been watching, but I don't know. Yesterday I watched that. You guys see that Not Quite Hollywood documentary about
Yes,
Australian exploitation genre film boom?
it's fucking great.
It is. Minus Tarantino, fucking fanboying all the time. Like,
Oh, you had to. He's a fanboy though, so he belonged in it. See,
yeah, fuck.
yeah, you had to shit on him. Well, I'll have to jump in. You guys don't like. Hey,
Wait
these
your
guys
turn.
don't like Tarantino. What? You guys don't like Tarantino?
I love Tarantino, dude. I
Was
love
it
I do.
Nate?
Yeah, I
Nate
do.
liked
I do.
him? Oh, I thought you guys didn't like him either. Okay,
No, I
okay.
love
Good,
Tarantino.
good.
It's only me that hates Tarantino here.
Very one-sided. Good. I'll quiet down now.
I'll rumble all yous. Bring a lunch, motherfuckers. Like,
I'll quiet down now.
I hate Tarantino. Fuck him. But anyway, yeah, like I was watching this documentary, so it kind of stirred my interest. Like, Australian exploitation film. So I started going through my collection, of course, like to see what I all had. And I had a triple feature last night, Ozploitation shit. Watch the original Mad Max.
Okay.
It's always a classic. But the one I really want to talk about is Road Games. You guys ever check that one out? Jamie Lee Curtis, Stacy Keach.
No.
I don't think so. Is that the one in the semi or whatever?
Yeah.
Fucking,
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen that. I want to see that.
I want to say Richard Franklin, I believe, directed it.
Okay.
Not 100% sure, but I believe that's who it was.
Is it like
Yeah.
Duel?
So like, what?
Is it like Duel?
What's
You've
Duel?
seen Duel, right?
No.
Guy's being chased across the country with this big guy in a wrecker truck or whatever, and he never sees him. And shit, there's been a lot of films, but I think Duel was the first. I think Spielberg did it. Yeah, it was his first film.
Not
It's
really
good.
like
It's
that.
real good. It's from, you'd like it. It's from, I think it's from 72 or 71.
Okay.
Yeah, you should check it out.
Well, this one, it's like Stacy Keach. independent truck driver, and he's just driving across the countryside. But he notices this one guy in a green van. He picks up this hitchhiker, and the next morning, like, and as the garbage trucks are picking up the garbage, this guy's like watching the garbage trucks. Because, of course, Keach, he didn't get a hotel room. He had to sleep in the fucking truck with his dingo. But he notices this guy acting all weird. And he keeps running into him throughout the movie. And at the same time, there's all these reports of women going missing. And they start to think that Stacy Keach is actually the killer. And he's trying to figure out, like, the whole mystery, what's going on. Like, he's trying to catch the guy. And it's kind of a cat and mouse game. Real Hitchcockian style to it.
Nice.
Yeah, Jamie Lee.
Dude.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a really good, like, suspense thriller, like, solid Australian film, like, really nicely shot, and yeah, great budget. Holds up well too. Like, you guys really enjoy that.
Was that on DVD, or did you find a copy of that, or did you end up checking that out?
It is on DVD, but it's highly out of print.
Mm-hmm.
I think it goes for $60 to $100 online.
Wow.
But it's on an Anchor Bay release. I also have it on VHS as well. Like, I think it was Embassy release on VHS.
So you know it's going to be a stellar print because Anchor Bay, I mean...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They usually put out nothing but good stuff. So.
Shitload of special features. There's like a 20-minute featurette, commentary, all that jazz.
Nice.
But again, I was just going to mention another one I watched real quick last night. You guys ever see Razorback?
No, I haven't.
I've heard of that, but I've never seen it.
Okay, I watched that one as well for probably the 15th time. I love this film, but it's like kind of a Jaws ripoff. It's about this giant razorback boar that at the beginning kills this guy's grandson. He's put on trial. Not enough evidence, and he like devotes the rest of his life to killing boars and trying to find it. There's some broad. She's shooting a documentary on like the kangaroo slaughter, and she ends up getting eaten by the boar. Her boyfriend comes to try to figure out what happened to her. And you got, like, sleazy fucking Australian guys, like Mad Max kind of guys that are raping chicks and terrorizing people. And,
nice.
Yeah, it's a great film. Really visually stunning, too. Like, way ahead of its time and, like, the way it was shot with, like, the dream sequences and some of the lighting and shit.
Is it like, post-apocalyptic? Because you said it's like Mad Max style kind of characters.
No, just that. You know, like they mentioned in that documentary, like these Aussie movies, these guys just pop up everywhere, like these crazy fucking
biker like native-looking
guys,
almost people. Yeah, they pop up in Weird Science too with Michael Berryman.
Yeah, there was something about the late 70s, early 80s. Like these guys are just making cameo appearances everywhere.
That's fucking awesome.
Kind of like the fly in your pornos you watch. He's always
There's always a fly that pops up.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I've been watching anyway. What about you, Bat? What you been watching?
Well, I mean, I watch a lot of older shit like Jdog here does. So I mean, but. I was thinking, I was like, hey, yesterday I did watch something that's still in theaters because, I'm pirate and everything. But this is a movie that didn't even, like, really matter that you bootlegged it because it was kind of a movie that, like, bootlegging it and it being a bootleg would enhance it. And that's the film that's out right now. I don't know if it's still out. I think it is. Apollo 18. Should be.
Yeah.
Well, the bootleg I got had I think it's missing like 10 minutes at the beginning, but like, I don't know, it makes it even more interesting, I guess, because it's basically a shot on video, found footage film, basically, Blair Witch in space on the moon. And it makes sense for the situation. Like these guys would go up there and they would have cameras and it would look like something being documented. So it didn't take you out of it made it more realistic. It didn't bother me whatsoever that that's how they decided to film this. It was actually practical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It made sense for the plot. So, but yeah, it follows these guys. 3 men go up. 1 guy stays in the ship, the transport, and these guys go down. It's a secret mission to the moon. And they land, and actually, this is a conspiracy theory, a realistic conspiracy theory. I think there's a bunch of secret missions and stuff that weren't documented, and Apollo 18 is one of them. So these guys go up there and they start looking around, and they find footsteps that don't match their boot print, and they follow it back, and they find a Russian lantern. They find out the Russians are there, and I'm guessing the Russians hadn't even supposedly gotten to the moon yet, but they were there, but they were dead or whatever, and it's kind of, they don't really even explain you don't really get like an ending where it explains everything. It's kind of just weird. They find these weird rocks and they possess them and stuff, and it's kind of a strange film. But I don't know. I mean, it was interesting. It was entertaining to an extent. I don't know. I might pick it up on DVD or Blu-ray when it comes out. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Was it worth going to the theaters to see, or?
Well, I didn't go to the theater and see it.
Well,
I probably wouldn't go to the theater.
Okay.
And see it. I wait till it comes out on video and definitely rent it. It's worth a watch. So it's definitely entertaining.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds half-assed interesting, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's some truth or something's based behind it. I mean, it's like a real conspiracy theory that it's kind of based.
If there's truth and stuff to it, I got no use for it then. J-Dog don't like to hear the truth.
You love that shit. You love that realistic stuff.
I don't like to hear the truth.
Yeah, I heard that it was, it was fairly entertaining, but it had a lot of problems. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what the person that told me that said the problems were, but
it was probably some of the performances and stuff here and there, and for a little bit, you think you're going up and you're going to see you're watching a sci-fi movie, and then you're like, okay, and then it turns into like a possession movie, and it just tries to do too many things.
It didn't
even have to do that. It would. that would have dubbed it the official exploitation film of the year, but
that's what someone should do.
I guess I was. There is some alien stuff, but it's like alien/supernatural, so intriguing. Like I said, who knows? Maybe they'll release unrated or something. It'll be, have a lot more footage or something to it. So the one I watched, and like I said, I know there was pieces missing because it just starts right in the middle of the movie. You know what I mean? Like, not right in the middle, but like there's a bunch of footage of them briefing them and them getting ready to go. And them saying, like, it's a top secret mission. And I'm making it sound hokier than it really is. But
how the fuck did they get... How'd they get the shuttle up without anybody actually seeing it?
Well, see, that's the thing. They don't explain it. They just show it. I'm sure that they have I'm sure they've got secret locations and stuff like that. Our space program and stuff is all based from Nazis. Did you know that? Like, we got all their data and stuff from Nazis, and that's what our NASA program is built off of. A lot of people don't know that. But
it's because the Germans are fucking smart, man. I testify to that. I'm German.
Maybe intelligent, but also diabolical. So
we're crooked motherfuckers too. We're not all Nazis.
I mean, they talked about people putting people on the moon since like 1958. So okay, and like rocket ships blowing up and shit like that. So and so it's interesting, and it's funny because like I remember when I was a kid, like a lot of people were still entertained with space travel and stuff, but like as I got older and like in my teenage years, like mainly in the 2000s, like nobody gives a fuck about space travel or anything going on with that anymore. And like, I think that has to do with like NASA and stuff. Like they just feed you the boring shit. And like when they actually ever find anything substantial, it's classified.
Well, yeah,
who the fuck wants to cover it up or whatever. It's like, if you really told us what you were finding, because like, let's be for real, you're going to tell us that we're like the only, intelligent life form in like the whole universe? Are you fucking kidding me? Let's be for real. Why don't you tell us like some of the artifacts and stuff you're finding and some of the interesting things you're finding along the way? Because people would probably be more prone to support the space program if there was actually things being found like there really are. I mean, I found websites with, I told you guys about them, like finding coins up on Mars and stuff like that. You don't hear about that in the mainstream news. Yet these photographs are there of coins on the moon. or on Mars and stuff, or like not only that, but like structures on the moon and stuff. Why aren't these being talked about? You know what I mean? So tell the people about the interesting stuff, and then, you know, people will be interested, and they'll be more interested to invest money into it too, you know?
All right. Back into it. I got a couple more I'm just going to rattle off here real quick. I won't go real in depth with them. I just watched Kevin Smith's Red State.
Okay. I was going to ask you guys, have you seen that?
Yeah. Just watched it. I think it's supposed to be coming out on the 22nd. But I got it on that was another one I got like video on demand. It was like $10 to order it, but it's only $1 more, $1 more than going to the fucking theater. So I was like, fuck it. Get it at home and drink while I watch it. But it was good, man. I actually really enjoyed it. There was a lot of different kind of elements to it. I mean, there were some parts that were fucked up and disturbing, and then some parts that were more humorous. And one thing I will mention about it is Michael Parks, who plays kind of the lead guy of this fanatic church or whatever. That guy fucking, I mean, I've always liked him, but he fucking just blew me away in this movie. He was fantastic.
It's the guy that's in the Tarantino films, right?
Yeah.
He's in Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, in the very beginning, he plays that sheriff. Yeah.
Is he playing that same kind of character, or?
Sort of, but just, like, same kind of character, just like a fucking religious fanatic.
Yeah, with the same kind of, I'm talking about the drawl and the way he says his dialogue. Yeah. That's awesome. I got to see that.
He was fantastic. So, check that one out.
Any cameos by Jay and Silent Bob in it?
No.
Jay and Silent Bob, okay.
They don't just pop up like out of nowhere. That would have been acceptable, I think. Still, they just
towards the end, there's when you see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. But towards the end, I was waiting for Atlantis to pop down as God again. But
I love Atlantis, dude. I'm a huge Atlantis fan.
Bitch is ugly.
Oh, dude, come on, dude. Don't be hating on Atlantis' looks, dude. I think she's pretty attractive for a Canadian chick.
Hey, what do you mean for a Canadian chick?
Damn!
We got damn fly bitches here.
I'm just joking.
She ain't no national treasure. You'll find way flyer bitches around here.
I'm just fucking with you, Jdog, but yeah.
One more new one. I won't even say really anything about it. What I will say is I watched Chrome Skull Laid to Rest Part 2.
Oh, cool.
And it was great, and you can hear all my thoughts about it in my video review on horrorhappyhour.com.
There you go.
That was a great pitch.
That's all I'll say about that. But I'll end it with an older one that was actually kind of along what Jdog was saying a little bit ago. It was an Anchor Bay release called The Stuff by Larry Cohen.
Rutherford, he's keeping the world safe for ice cream.
Right, yeah. Michael Moriarty had a appearance by Paul Sorvino and Garrett Morris in there as what was his name?
I'm gonna have to watch that. Wow,
Chip Charlie.
Yes. This movie's great.
Oh, it was a hell of a lot of fun, man. I really, really enjoyed it.
I've been wanting to see that forever, man.
I got a copy of it kicking around. I just haven't watched it because I thought it was going to be goofy.
Too.
Yeah, I got it on DVD through the mail from Netflix. And
you should steal it.
Yeah, I would steal it.
I still have it.
You better keep it.
I think
tell them I'm going to steal this. You can keep the rest of my money. Send me the rest of the fucking packaging.
I think they'll charge me what is it, $10 or $14 for it?
Yeah.
Well, that's not bad considering what is it running for, Jdog? Was it $20-$30 for it or more?
Really?
I'm not 100% sure.
If it's out of print, it's going to be up there. So
is that out of print?
$15. Yeah,
it'd be worth what they charge you, definitely, for sure.
Yeah, most stuff.
Yeah, it was fun.
You wouldn't get ripped off.
Yeah, and it's
you'd rip them off. So
yeah. I love the whole just the whole idea of the movie, kind of the just about American fucking consumerism and shit, and fucking the greedy corporations and shit like that. And then the whole just goofy fucking satire of like their whole promotion of the stuff, and all the commercials that they did and shit. It was really funny and really entertaining. And yeah, Michael Moriarty was fucking great, man.
But I'll move on to one of you guys, Jdog or Bat.
Yeah, sure. I already talked about 4, so really, other than that, what I've been watching lately is classic Spider-Man, actually.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah,
Cartoon or?
Yeah, the cartoon, the old 60s cartoon. I've been
retro. That's the shit right there. That one, the 62 to what was it, like 65 or something?
67 to 70.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a great series right there.
Yeah, I'm archiving it all right now, like on my.
Oh, you didn't buy the DVD?
No, I didn't know there was one.
Yeah, I think there's a DVD of it all restored and everything out there, and it's got extra features and.
Well, there's 56 episodes, so I've just been recording them off of Teletoon Retro, and then recording them with my recordable DVD player, taking out the commercials and shit, and kind of archiving it myself with a bunch of other
cheaper.
shit.
That's cheaper.
Yeah, I've just been watching, like retro cartoons. Like I watched some Scooby-Doo movies the other night. Like Scooby-Doo meets Sonny and Cher, and
sweet.
Another one, Harlem. With the Harlem Globetrotters.
Didn't they do Gilligan's Island crossover one too?
I think they did.
I could have sworn they did.
No Gilligan. No.
Oh, that would have been
sweet.
It would have been. Yeah, I have every single Scooby-Doo episode ever made.
I remember that Harlem Globetrotters one. That one's the shit, dude. Maybe you know why I think Gilligan's Island? Because I think Gilligan's Island had a crossover with Harlem Globetrotters where they got stranded on the island again or something. It's like a movie.
There was a Gilligan's Island cartoon, I believe.
Oh, okay. Maybe the Harlem Globetrotters was on that one. I don't know, man. It's everything blurs together with all that old throwback shit. But good
stuff. Oh yeah, I love that old Spider-Man. I just fucking zone right out on it. The other day, I watched like 5 hours of it in a row.
Didn't even realize it.
Yeah, I'm just like, whoa, I got to put something else in.
You looked up, and it was dark outside. Like, oh fuck.
Yeah, it was like, shit. I got to get something to eat and get out of spider mode here. Like,
yeah, my spidey senses are tingling. It's late and I need a bite to eat.
His legs were tingling because he had been sitting for 5 hours straight.
That stuff's just classic. It has like a lot of horror undertones and stuff. Like a lot of the characters are almost Scooby-Doo-ish and like I don't know. It's like classic Spider-Man, Scooby-Doo. If you watch that back in the 70s, odds are you're probably a hardcore horror nut like I am. So that's what I've been watching.
You want to jump into it, Nick?
Yeah, sure. I just picked up the Blu-ray of Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey, and wow, nice. I mean, it looks amazing. It's really stunning, and I'm not even I'm watching whatever I can get off my TV here. I mean, I don't got HD, but I mean, I can tell the picture quality is there. I mean,
yeah,
blows any of the VHSs, or that's when I originally seen it was on VHS, back in the day. So, but the film, like, I understand it more now. A lot of people are like, that movie doesn't make any sense. It's nonsense, and there's no dialogue and stuff, but it's a symbolic film filled with symbolism and stuff. And once you can recognize the symbolism, then you get the plot. But
right.
And I don't even think it can fully be like broken down, and like it would probably take you like an entire episode to like sum that film up. But definitely stunning. And there's a lot of rumors going around and conspiracy theories that Kubrick shot the moon landing and stuff, and that was the movie that led everyone to believe it. And the film is visually stunning, and the way he did it, you could use those same techniques with the backdrop and stuff like that, and you could still pull it off and convince people that it was real. So, and it's time. So, with that said, it's timeless. So, if he had faked the moon landing, whatever footage he had done for them would have been timeless even in 2011. So, just my take. So,
yeah.
Have you guys seen the film? Or
yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it's a beautiful film to look at for sure. And I mean, it's just it's slow and all that. But yeah, I mean, you got to look a little deeper into it, and put a little thought into it. And I think now, especially nowadays, people are they want fucking shit to go fast, and they want explosions and
death. Every 10 minutes of a body.
And, a lot of crowds these days probably wouldn't keep up with it, but it's great though.
And to me, like, that whole introduction scene of just like, and I don't, whatever. It doesn't matter if you believe in evolution. I don't care if you believe in it, if you don't believe in it. That whole scene, it's a movie, okay? So that whole early man or whatever, it's really interesting just to watch those whole little events play out there. You know what I mean? That holds me to the screen more than 10 explosions. See, now if they remade that film, they'd have to have all kinds of stupid fucking subplots in there that don't matter just because, we gotta have an explosion going on over there. We're not gonna explain it because, like, you just keep your attention, you know? Like, it's arbitrary, so...
Yeah, see, I'm cool with how it was, you know. I mean, I'm a fan of, like, silent films, so, you know, I can handle, you know.
I'm sure there's something out there. Kubrick signed something to where nobody could ever remake any of his films. I hope so. I really hope he put something like that out. Supposedly, he said that he didn't want any of his films ever released in high definition. And he also said that he wanted all of them to be presented in full screen.
Huh.
And he had that like in his fucking, I don't know, will or something, but obviously that hasn't held up because all of his films have been released in HD as far as I know, just about. Even a lot of these older ones, I know Criterion put out some of his films from the late 40s, early 50s, so...
Before we roll out of the segment here, you guys want to tell us, where we can find your show and any other places that we can check you guys out?
Okay, sure. Yeah, Nick can lay out the website and go like the Facebook page.
School these motherfuckers.
Yeah, we're on Facebook. Just search Exploited Cinema and give us a like over there. Pretty much that's kind of our message board, everything. Like, if you want to know what's going on with our show, you can find out there. If you want to hit us up, I got a question, got a show question or anything like that, post it there. We also have an email address, exploited_cinema@yahoo.com. Our website is exploitedcinema.blogspot.com, and that's usually where all our episodes are posted. And just check back there. We usually put a show out twice a month, every other Saturday. But we try to. We haven't been so good on that. But like, if you're wondering when the next shows are coming up or whatever, or you want hints on what maybe the next show will be, we usually post trailers and information and stuff on the Facebook page. So that really be your best source to know what's going on, unless you just want to periodically check back on our website and see if the episodes pop up. So
yeah, we usually post something almost daily on the Facebook page, so you can always come there to see what the latest in exploited cinema news is and what else is going on, trailers, whatnot, just some fun, goofy things that fans and us find, and we just post up there just to keep entertainment going in between shows, really.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, and if you guys like us, I mean, this is the other podcast you want to listen to, because this is what got me into wanting to do this shit, so definitely appreciate it.
We're your inspiration?
That's right.
Yes.
It's awesome.
It's nice to rub off on someone.
Yeah.
I bet.
Not in a sexual way, of course.
Right.
I set myself up for that one. Put my dick in my mouth there. Or my foot, whatever.
We rub off on everyone we encounter, so...
You're just like some perverted Japanese guy on the fucking bus, just jerking off people.
Usually it's when they're sleeping.
Random.
The old left cheek sneak, that's always a good one. They'll never see it coming.
Some Jay Grease words of wisdom.
Hell yeah. If you're going out looking for a date, take the ether and the ski mask. Hell yeah. Save yourself at least $50 that way.
And if you're a serial killer, leave the box cutter at home.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. That's just heat score.
Well, fuck, that was a great way to end that fucking segment, I'd say.
Words of wisdom.
Yes. It was like Springer's final thought.
That's right.
Well, yeah, fuck, thanks again, guys, for doing it, man. We appreciate it. And sorry it took so fucking long to get you on here.
No problem. I was dilly-daddling, fucking around and shit, so it's all good.
Yeah, glad we finally got to do it.
Well, shit, yeah, lead us out so we can cut this segment.
This is Bat32 from Exploited Cinema.
This is Jdog from Exploited Cinema, and you're listening to
Behind the Mask.
Hey guys, welcome back. You are joined with RiverMan and the Lush. And
What's up, freaks?
RedRocket, what's up, guys?
So, RedRocket, what's going on in the music world?
yeah,
Well, in the music world, as I said, in the weeks leading up, I know it's taken a couple weeks for this episode to get off the ground, but I had anticipation of talking about the new Anthrax, worship music, the new Dream Theater, a dramatic turn of events, and the Opeth Heritage. But the latter of those two are really, really, really hard. You know, they take a lot of time to digest, so that's just not going to happen. So, I mean, I'll kind of tell you where I'm at as far as the Dream Theater is up to date. I won't even get into Opeth, but really focus on the Anthrax. You guys...
hello?
Hello?
Us guys, what?
I said you guys gave it a listen as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got about halfway through it.
Me too.
Okay. Well, basically, whoever's an Anthrax fan out there, I mean, realizes that Joey Belladonna, the classic Among the Living, Spreading the Disease frontman from the 80s, is back into the fold, replacing John Bush in the 90s. Normally any other day of the week I would tell you that I actually prefer John Bush's more gruff, lion-esque, if that's a word, style of vocals. It was more of an alternative hard rock in the 90s.
I would say Liger-esque.
Mm-hmm. Liger-esque. But you know what? They really wowed me with this album. Unlike the other two albums I was talking about, I grasped this one really, really quick. You know, it's not progressive rock or anything like that, but it's just good, heavy rock album, you know? And they honestly wowed me in the sense that they've been around for 30 years pushing right now, and they've really set the bar and the standard as far as, you know, a band that's been around as long as they have can still release either, you know, I'm not going to necessarily say it's their best album. It's pretty damn close if it's not, but, you know, something of that caliber. Spreading the Disease.
It's relevant. A relevant album.
They did a very good job. They did, okay, out of all the thrash bands, these big thrash bands out, you know, they're all trying to relive their glory days, you know? You have, you know, Metallica did Death Magnetic, you know, Megadeth had come out with Endgame a couple years back, and then Slayer. Well, Slayer was always Slayer, but even with their last album, it was more raw. I don't really think there was any crazy down-tuning stuff. But you know what? Anthrax has done the best job out of all of them as far as capturing a little bit of that, but still having a modern sound, you know, and having this happy marriage, if that makes sense. Yeah. Because the productions on it is fantastic. And there are clear songs on there that are very vocal, catchy and hooky in that sense. Mm-hmm. But overall, it's a nice blend of kind of what they were doing in the 80s and what they did in the 90s. You know, not a full-on thrash record, but it's very, very, very well balanced. Mm-hmm. What do you think? What do you think there, River?
I actually really enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed. I'm trying to think. Do you have the tracks?
I can tell you. I can tell you the tracks.
You know what? Track 2, I really enjoyed. It was kind of like, you know, track 2 and 3 were kind of like a punch in the face, dude. It was just like, you know, in your face type of music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then track 4 was kind of, you know, like a zombie type of.
That was Fight 'Em Till You Can't.
Fight 'em till you can't. Yeah, that was
I really enjoyed that one also.
They have some little intro about, you know, the dead are coming back to life from their grave and everything, which is pretty cool. And then they, I don't know, I really enjoyed that one. And then also the next song after that. What was that?
It's called I'm Alive.
I'm Alive. Yeah, there's a few songs that are, you know, kind of radio, you know, that you can hear on the radio, but.
Well, I mean, I can break down the tracks you're talking about. I mean, the first track is technically an intro into the whole record, and it leads into track 2, which is called Earth on Hell, and that's, you know, it's pretty formulatic in a good way, because it's like, oh, let's start with the intro, and let's just have the first track be a thrasher, you know, and that's what the first one is, Earth on Hell, and it really sets the pace really well. And then we're going to get into where I think it's just really amazingly balanced, because the second track is really grooving, and it's the first radio single. I don't know. It's not real fast, but it's just that groove. And I think Scotty Ian described it as an AC/DC song put through an Anthrax filter.
yeah, I can see that.
And then track 4 is Fight 'Em So You Can't, which is a little more thrashy and very. It's very true form in Anthrax, because back in the 80s they always wrote lyrics based on comic books, a la I Am the Law, based on Judge Dredd, and they wrote stuff based on Stephen King novels, very campy fanfare stuff, and this Fight 'Em So You Can is definitely a homage to what they used to do. And then track 5 is the I'm Alive. It's very, very it's easy to picture people singing that one, live. It's very very anthematic. So, but the highlight, actually, once you get past that track, you have the first segue track, which would be Hymn 1, which I think some people might call, there's like 4 of those, I think, spread across the whole album. People might call those filler. I don't, because I look at the album as a whole, and I think they serve a purpose, because I love listening to that Hymn 1, and it goes right into those bell chimes of In the End, which In the End is the highlight of the album, but not to put the rest of it down, because it's just ordered so perfectly. It's like it builds, it's great. Then you hit your peak in the middle, which is perfect, this climax.
Yeah.
And that's definitely the key point of the song. And then you got Hymn 2, which is then you got a song called The Giant, which is sort of a thrasher, kind of reminds me of the 90s stuff. But then you have Hymn 2, and then you go into their homage to Judas Priest, aptly titled Judas Priest, where if you're a fan of that band, you'll catch in to all the tongue-in-cheek references that they're making. I mean, obviously, he's clearly trying to sing in that Rob Halford kind of nasally range in the track, and nice. The lyrics are just laden with titles to Judas Priest songs. So it's just kind of neat and fun. But yeah, overall, I mean, I had written a couple articles about it, and on the Tumblr and all that crap, and basically it's an album, and
does it sound like he's sucking a dick while he's singing the Judas Priest song?
Hey, you know what? I will not tolerate that. Oh, God, on my music segment.
Sorry.
You know what? I don't care. Whatever got him and caused him to be able to hit those soaring, 4-octave falsettos back in the day. Some singers use honey. He used jizz.
Yeah.
His methods.
Good for the throat, apparently.
Good for the throat.
Lube up them vocal cords with some sperm. That's all right.
Oh man.
Hey, if that's your
look
thing.
at us. Look at us making jokes about it when we're talking about the track they're paying homage to.
Yeah.
Oh, but you know what? It's great. And like I said, this is really a package. It's an album. It's not, so far it's not been a record that I can just listen to one song. I start it and I finish it. But yeah, the thing about it is it's a package deal. It's an album, and it's the first album in a very long time that I can honestly I can't pick and single out certain tracks and just listen to them or throw them in a mix. I start it and then I finish it. So yeah, it's definitely a big picture here. And the last time I think that happened, I don't know when the last album was that was like that for me. And that just tells me that maybe the album format is just dying. And I don't think it is. Maybe there's not quite an effort being shown here. I don't know. But I think this album is a testament to people like Tommy Lee, who's in the media right now, claiming that the album format is dead. Nobody wants to listen to that. I can't listen to that. I have to have a mix in my iPod. I challenge him to choke on this album and sit on a pine cone while he's at it.
Yeah, fuck Tommy Lee anyway.
Yeah, and take a few notes. Because I love the format of the album, man. Who wants the bottom corner of a painting? Bull crap, man.
Yeah, Tommy Lee can say that because Motley Crue fucking sucks.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's not my fault.
I said it. Yep.
Yeah, I said it too. It's not our fault that they personally can't create an album worth of good material. I mean, why knock somebody else? But like I said, I just gave him and Vince Neil a good reference point. So that's what I have to say about that. So go pick up worship music because it's pretty freaking tasty. And the other album, I'll just kind of give a brief summary. I'm not ready to give a huge deal on it yet. But the Dream Theater album, it was my most anticipated. And I was actually very shocked that it got overshadowed by the Anthrax. But like I said, that's one of them was very, very accessible on first listen. This one I tried not to go into with sort of a jaded look on things because of the whole Mike Portnoy fiasco. I mean, it's kind of divided the fan base. You know, people that are, you know, we love Mike Portnoy and we hate Mike Portnoy and whatever. I was trying to listen to it with fresh ears, so I'm going to judge it, you know, equally here. But it was hard to get into. It seemed like it just didn't have the peaks and valleys as far as melody and heaviness and that contrast like I'm used to. It seemed to be really mellow, and it was just hard to absorb, so I just skimmed it a few times. And but now, after a week, after I listened to Anthrax for a week, I'm starting to pick it up one song at a time, and I'm getting to the point where, you know, I'm really liking the album. But just nitpicking things, they have a new drummer, Mike Mangini. He's a beast, holds tons of records for speed and things like that. Yada yada yada. He's got a huge back catalog, but they really turned his drums down in the mix. It just, you know, Mike Portnoy used to be so poppin'. He was in the mix, and his drums were in your face. Maybe some people had a problem with that. Maybe the boys in the band had a problem with that. I don't know, but it's like the drumming's good. It's really good. There's some nice, great, complicated stuff going on in there, but it's just missing something, and I can't put my finger on it. But overall, the songwriting's good. I don't know. That's just kind of where I'm at so far. I'm liking it, but yeah, I'll have to give a better update on that when I do the Opeth record, because like I said, it's going to take a couple weeks to digest them both.
Sure. Now, one thing I wanted to ask you, what do you think about one of our people on our Facebook page posted something about that band Decapitated?
I'm not aware. I'll have to check it out.
Oh, you didn't see that?
No, I did not.
Oh, that's been a while back. It was Pat Fury.
Pat Fury, our resident cynic.
Yes, he posted something about Decapitated. He posted one of their songs actually, and I took a listen to it, and I actually really enjoyed it.
Actually, did I? I think I might. This was a long time ago, because didn't I comment on that?
Yeah, you did. I think you did make a comment on it.
I listened. That's right. I listened to it, and you know, it was a really long time ago, and I obviously didn't go back to it. But I remember actually surprisingly really digging it.
Yeah, that was just. It just kind of came to mind as something that we hadn't mentioned on. We didn't mention it on the last show.
No, it's been that long. We even laughed it on the last show. That's why I couldn't remember it. But yeah. I'll have to go back and listen to it, because I remember really, really liking it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you did any more digging into those guys. I plan on it. I haven't yet, but I plan on it.
No, absolutely not. And I'll make that an assignment for sure for the next one. As far as shows on the horizon, I'll be flying out to New York City in a couple weeks, and I think I'm going to catch Dream Theater on the 12th of October. And then the next day, I mean, why not? The next day, on the 13th, I fly to Russia, where I'll be for quite a while, and I will be going to the In Flames show.
Nice.
You know, I'm going to try and see what I can hook up with that as well. And
who's playing with them at that show? Do you know?
You know what? From what I can tell, it just says In Flames. I don't think there's an opener.
No shit.
Yeah, so that'd be cool, and small place too. So maybe I can, you know, do some mingling, if you know what I mean.
Fuck yeah, man. Those guys play a hell of a set, dude.
They really do. They were definitely a highlight when I saw them at the Energy Mayhem Festival as well. But as far as while I'm in Russia, you know, I'm going to try my damnedest to go see Sir Elton John again. I know he's not metal, boys and girls, and you know what? We already made some gay jokes. We won't do it again. But he's incredible. And then Sade is going to be there, so I'd love to catch.
Oh, nice,
dude! I love her. I love them, man. And
smooth operator.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, no, she's that's great shit. Yeah,
absolutely. So you know, but definitely for the case of the show, I'll definitely go see In Flames. So
yes, get some metal injections in there.
Absolutely, man. And you know what, man? The Ruskies definitely can do some pitching and promotion. You can hand out some flyers over there. And, you know, coming from a seasoned traveler like myself, me being American, they're, you know, probably going to be more apt to actually care what I have to say and maybe even look at the flyer and not throw it in the trash, you know?
I hope
Got
so.
one.
The Ruskies are our friendskis. What was that from Saved by the Bell?
Yeah.
Remember Mr. Belding, the Russian? He's not only Russian, he's from the Soviet Union.
But anyway, man.
I just hope they don't kill skis, use skis.
But that's as far as I got, man. As far as shows I plan on going to here in the very, very near future, and
sweet,
yeah,
enjoy and fucking keep us posted for sure, man.
Absolutely, man. I'm definitely going global. I'll be going to a lot of places here in the next 8 months.
Sweet.
Be hitting up Europe, Asia, and maybe even South Africa. So keep you posted.
Well, in that, let's wrap this up. But that's the metal segment with the Red Rocket.
Hell yeah.
So come back. We're going to do our in-depth reviews on a few films. But yeah, you're listening to Behind the Mask.
Three best friends.
Man, it's a damn shame nobody really comes up here anymore.
Looking for a good time.
Party.
But when the fun ended, their night
Hello? Anyone out there?
was only beginning.
We're just a friendly bunch looking for a good time. The violent kind.
All this killing and violence. It seems to be the only thing you people respond to.
We're gonna end this now.
The violent kind.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. That was a great Red Rocket segment we just went into. But yeah, let's jump into some of these reviews. First movie we're reviewing is The Violent Kind, and this is a Lush pick.
Yes.
Both of these are a Red Rocket and Lush pick. And first one's Violent Kind. You just kind of want to talk about it a little bit, when it came out and everything, and a few actors in it, or...
Yeah. It came out 2010, directed by the Butcher Brothers, who also did the movie The Hamiltons from the After Dark Horror Fest. I believe it was the first round of the After Dark Horror Fest movies. So this is from them. Stars Corey Knopf, Taylor Cole, Brett Roberts, Christina McDowell, Tiffany Shepis, and Nick Taggis, among a few others. But I believe those are the main players in the movie. And, that's pretty much the, cast and crew rundown of it.
I don't remember Eric Roberts in that picture.
Eric Roberts.
I wish he was.
Pop it, Tommy, pop it.
But basically the kind of the rundown of the movie is, it starts off as like you get kind of a Sons of Anarchy biker gang, type of feel to it. And one of the guys, it's his mom's 50th birthday, so they go out to this kind of secluded farmhouse out in the woods and up in northern Cali, and they're partying it up there. And let me just say, I wish my mom's 50th birthday would be like this fucking chick's 50th birthday.
That was pretty wild, man.
His mom was getting like lap dances and like
strippers making out with each other and shit. And, oh man, that'll never happen, but I can dream.
So what's your mom making out with?
Well, yeah, no, I thought about that as I just said it. Maybe it'd be better for my birthday.
I'm like, okay,
but anyway, so they go up there to party or whatever, and most of the people take off, and then just kind of strange things start happening. You see these kind of 5 strangers that you don't really know much about them, but you keep seeing these like newspaper clippings and shit like that, saying that this person was abducted like back in 1950 something. And they're all kind of like fucking rockabilly greaser type of people. So yeah, just weird things start happening. These these greaser types end up busting into this cabin and kind of take all these people hostage, so to say. And, all kinds of just crazy madness ensues.
But even that's jumping to like last half of the movie, because the first half is, to me, completely different than the last half.
Yeah.
To the point where when we get to that last half where you're talking about the hostage situation where these greasers have them all captive in the house, it's like, for me, I enjoyed the movie surprisingly. I wasn't expecting to, but the actors in it, and especially the lead antagonist, really, made the movie.
Yeah.
But, it's like you see the sightings of the greasers throughout that first half, but honestly, I didn't focus on it. I don't know if that's a flaw in the movie itself, but, I'd see it, but I didn't really acknowledge it. And we already talked about this in the sense that I kind of forgot about the missing posters they'd show. It's like I acknowledged them, but I just figured in my mind, okay, they're going to come back to that later, so I would just kind of put it out of my mind. But they never did. But anyway, so by the time the greasers did come into play, it came out of left field. I wasn't expecting it, because the first half, it's this biker movie, and then all of a sudden it's like Evil Dead, and this chick's like possessed, spewing blood and chained to a bed.
There's a lot of different elements to it, a lot of things that it kind of reminded me of as the movie went along.
The thing about the greasers, really, I don't know why it did, but it reminded me like a episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark or something. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Just the whole feeling with, I don't know.
And the fact that they cast Giovanni Ribisi as the lead greaser.
Yeah.
He looks like him.
Looks just like him, man.
Which is played by, I think, was that Joe and Jenner?
Oh, yeah. Did I not mention him?
No, he's
the best guy in the movie.
Yeah, he's the highlight of the movie.
Yeah, Joe Edinger.
Which is plays the role of Vernon.
Yeah, Edinger,
in the film, and I kind of wanted to jump into a little more about the beginning, hold
on, I don't want to make a fuck up like I did on my Chrome Skull 2 review. I want to mention, I didn't go down far enough. Joe Edgender, Joseph McKellier, Samuel Child, Mackenzie Fergans, and Ilea Matthews were the greasers. So sorry for not mentioning them.
Pussy Wagon.
Pussy Wagon and Trixie. Yeah, they were kind of like pin-up girl style.
Yeah.
And of course, these girls are way too hot for these guys. Let's just say it's that type of movie.
Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure I mentioned those so I don't have to fucking do another apology like I have before. So
one thing I wanted to say, I don't know. The first half of this movie, I completely hated it, or the first 30 minutes of it. I mean, it starts out with, kind of a fight scene where they're kicking the shit out of some random guy or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're just, a bunch of beer-slurping white trash, and that's all I hear, for the first 30 minutes is fucking beer slurping, and it's just getting annoying. Huh. And it's totally it's not believable, I think. So... I mean, I couldn't get into the characters.
You don't believe that white trash people slurp beer like that?
I mean, God, it's just so overdone, man. It's just to the point where I just want to shut the movie off. That's what it was for me, at least. Especially the night I was watching it. I don't know if you guys caught that at all, but
well, I want to make a statement about that first scene before we get past it. When he goes into the house, did anybody else think that the main lead character was going to get it on with his cousin, who I didn't realize it was his cousin?
Yeah.
But didn't you feel some sexual chemistry there?
Seemed like sure. It was. Yeah.
Then it's all of a sudden you find out they're relatives, they're a little touchy and just so much body language and innuendos. And I was the scariest part is I was a little aroused. When I found out they were related, it did things for me.
They were pretty friendly.
Making you happy in pants.
Then I started slurping some beer.
That's right.
But I don't know, just these Cody and Shade and these characters, I don't know, I couldn't like him at all. There's nothing about him I actually liked.
There was really quick sum ups in the character development. I'm sorry, I can't remember her name, but the one girl that just she's kind of the lead. She's the sister of the possessed chick.
Oh, right? That's Tiffany Shepis, right?
Okay, and
Tiffany
it's
Shepard,
like,
the possessed chick.
She's the possessed. You're talking
it's
about,
like it's like, who is this chick? Hey, let's sum it up by a quick 30-second scene on a porch where she says, "That was me sending you all that stuff in prison. Like that was you." And it's like, okay, I guess she's always loved him or whatever because he took her to the carnival when she was 13 when nobody else would. I'm like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
Move
exactly.
on with the story.
That was Christina McDowell as Megan.
Yeah, that's right.
That's who played her. Yeah.
But yeah, I guess he ended up the main character Cody ended up dating this. Is that Michelle?
Yes.
That played. Yeah, he ended up dating
Lovely
Michelle for like
yes.
7-8 years or something, and they never say how they ended up breaking up. I don't think maybe she's cheating on his ass or something.
And he didn't really take it. I don't think he took it hard enough.
No, he didn't. That's what pissed me off, dude.
What was going on? He didn't because he was the way I understood it was he was pretty much fresh on the rebound, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that guy should have a lot of feelings going on that's besides the fact that his girlfriend's getting ripped to shreds and possessed and spewing blood or God knows what and getting killed. I mean, let alone that stuff happening. He seems chill, cool as a cucumber, you know?
He supposedly was in love with her. I mean, I don't know. And,
I think he had just gotten out of jail or something like recently.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, that's chick, like because that's another little subplot which we didn't even mention. I don't even know what was going on there, but the other main greaser, the one that they got in the brawl in the house, you know, something went down where he said he was like ashamed of their gang because I don't know what happened with that whole him getting arrested. See, there was
because he kind of I don't know if he named name or
you name
he named name. I don't know if he sung like a canary or something or what the deal was. I think it was something like that.
They never really got into it.
Yeah, I think it was something to that effect. As he kind of opened his mouth up a little bit about some shit, so they'd take it a little lighter on him or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I believe. But
after the party, they show like shots of the greasers, and you really don't know what's going on with all of that. And I think Tiffany Shepard's role ended up getting in a fight with her new boyfriend, which didn't really make any sense why the mom would invite the ex-girlfriend to the party, which I didn't really understand.
I don't know if she
kind of looked like she crashed because she.
I think she just kind of showed up. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just to cause a scene is kind of how I took it.
Yeah,
and
too jealous.
Yeah, make out with the new boyfriend in front of Cody. So, which it's kind of childish, but I mean, I guess they are a bunch of white trash, so kind of fits the bill.
Exactly, and that's kind of where things take off. Like after the party's over, Tiffany Shepard's character Michelle, she leaves with her new boyfriend, and then something happens to them. You don't know exactly what. But she shows back up to the cabin all covered in blood and shit, and that's where things start getting fucking weird. And then from there, I mean, it reminded me, like you said, Red Rocket. I mean, at first it almost reminded me of like an Evil Dead kind of thing. And
it's a combination. It's like Outsiders merging with the Evil Dead, then eventually War of the Worlds. Well, no, it's Outsiders merging with Evil Dead.
Let's not have any spoilers here, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
We don't want to give away the ending.
Oh, shit.
That's all right.
Well, I mean, who gives a fuck by this point? But,
well, I forgot. Also mixed with sometimes they come back. It's like this big concoction.
Yeah.
It's one giant fucking clusterfuck mess, I think.
But the actors hold it together. Like I said, if the actors weren't there, it would have been a mess and it wouldn't have been worth anything. But the actors were good enough, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I actually really enjoyed it. I'm a fan of those movies that kind of change gears, like in the middle of the film, you know? Shit like From Dusk Till Dawn, and where it starts out as a kind of a crime caper movie, and then all of a sudden it's a vampire movie. Granted, this one, I mean, From Dusk Till Dawn is a superior film.
Yeah.
But this one, I understand what you're saying, RiverMan. It could seem like kind of a mess.
Too many fucking plot holes, I think.
Yeah, I kind of I tried not to take it too seriously, and by the time that it got to where the rockabilly greaser folks come in, You know, I was already kind of into it by that point, and that's where it really took off and got good, or got better. So then, yeah, by the end of it, I mean, yeah, the end of it is just like way out of left. I did not see the end of it coming at all.
We don't have to get the detail because obviously you don't want to, but you know, we had a little pre-talk about it, and you know, I didn't really get it, and you kind of enlightened me. Yeah. It was kind of hard to grasp, like what just happened here, you know. But you clearly followed it really well.
I got really into it, actually.
Well, no, I liked it too. And what helped me like it so much, I think, it's like you said, it's kind of how you approach it. You chose the flick, and you were bragging about it, saying, hey, it's really good. Then Todd watched it, and then he told me, you know, your feelings on it. Then I'm like, oh, man. So I just let my expectations low, and which helped me out because I watched it, and it was a way better, you know, going into it with no expectations on a movie like that, I guess.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said anything like, "Oh man, I really enjoyed this movie. You guys got to see it." You know, maybe from now on we'll just keep our mouths shut when we do a pick. You know?
No, it's okay. I mean, because it helped me.
I like disagreeing about these.
Yeah, it helped me. It sounds like you're definitely on the positive end, Lush. River, you're probably leaning on the negative, and I'm kind of in the middle. You know, I didn't mind it. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought, and the actors made it worthwhile. And I want to give a shout out to the Vernon, right? That's the lead greaser,
Joe Edgener. Yeah.
Okay, man, he really dug deep and found his inner Jimmy Swaggart. You know, because he was going for that Southern Pentecostal preacher voice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah,
he was channeling that, and where it was kind of, his delivery was kind of exaggerated, but it was totally intended to be, you know, like totally over the top.
Yeah.
It was really good. Liked it.
And I kind of wanted to throw in there, he's also in that movie Hunger that you actually did a review on, Lush.
Yeah, he was in that. Yep. And that one I didn't care much for.
With, it's, RedRocket's boyfriend, Lyndon Ashby, is also in it.
I'm still waiting for that.
I'm sending it. Don't worry.
I'm leaving tomorrow, so keep that in mind.
But yeah, we'll talk about that later. But overall, I'm the one who actually didn't really enjoy it. I mean, there's certain aspects I liked. I mean, the whole Evil Dead possession thing, I do like that stuff, but. I don't know. Overall, I just didn't like the characters. Other than Joe, I thought he was, far superior to anybody in the film. But the rest of the characters, I didn't like at all because, I mean, they did nothing for me. They really didn't, get into their backgrounds at all, or, I mean, I can relate somewhat to them, but in other aspects, I can't really relate to them. Yeah. So I don't know. It really didn't do anything for me, and. I mean, would it be something I'd watch again? Maybe somewhere down the road. I might give it a second shot. But after first viewing, I just, wasn't too gung ho about the film.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to, I kind of want to watch it again too, just to see if there was anything that I kind of missed out on, the first time around or something. But yeah, no, I enjoyed the flick, and definitely. I mean, what really made the movie was, the rockabilly greaser characters for sure.
Yeah.
Murderball, Jazz, Vernon, Trixie, and Pussy Wagon.
That's right.
They were fucking great, and I mean, I thought everybody was good enough, but they definitely took it up, another level. And of course, Tiffany Shepis, full frontal, naked, covered in blood. I love that.
Okay, one thing I want to throw out there. What I didn't understand. Okay, they're supposed to be greasers from the 50s or whatever, but right. Murderball wears a fucking headset, like a headphone, like cassette player. He rocks that, which makes no fucking sense.
I think if you see the newspaper clippings, like. Some of them, because if you notice, like, what was it, Jazz and Vernon's kind of styles are different also. I mean, still kind of the same, like, I don't know, like, Jazz seemed more of like a hipster type, and Vernon was like definite greaser, So I think, and that's one thing I want to go back and watch it again for, because like if you catch those newspaper clippings, it gives you dates on those. I'm pretty sure. So I think they might have been from like different time periods or something like that. So yeah, there's little things in there that you kind of really have to look for. They don't come right out and slap you in the face with it. That's for sure. So yeah, I don't know. That's one of the reasons why I'd like to go back and watch it again.
What about you, Red? Are you gonna go back and revisit this film?
I don't know, man. It's one of those things where if it was on TV, I would, but I probably won't go out of my way. That's probably just out of pure laziness, though. You know. No, seriously, I'm like that.
I understand. There's so many movies out there.
There's so many movies to watch. Honestly, there's very few movies that I watch repeatedly, and the ones that I still watch, like on occasion or at least annually, are ones that I've watched since I was, for many years. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Even if I saw a really awesome movie last year that just blew my mind, it's not likely I'm gonna put it in.
Oh, most definitely.
Unless it's Forrest Gump and it's on every second of the day on every cable station. Where it's passed by, you have to leave it on.
That and Titanic, I say.
That and Titanic. That was on a couple days ago. Yeah.
Which Lush still hasn't seen Titanic. I'm gonna tie his ass down and show him Titanic.
You've never seen Titanic? Are you freaking kidding me?
And then I will show him my Titanic.
Never. I'll sink your ship, big boy.
That's right.
So let's give this one a skull rating, even though it's obvious where we all stand.
Yeah. How many skulls?
Starting with Lush.
Like I said, I really, really did enjoy the movie. Yes, it did have its problems, but I enjoyed it. I thought the writing was good. It was fun. I thought it was. Direction was done well. The acting was good, especially, those characters that we mentioned. And, just the way that the ending came way out of left field and I didn't see it coming was huge. So I'm going to give it like a solid, probably 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Now I'm curious to what you're going to give it there, River, because I'm in the middle, so it'll help me gauge mine.
Okay, what I was thinking, this movie's obviously a mess, I think. I didn't like the characters except the one character, Vernon. The special effects, there were some decent special effects in there. But I think the whole demonic scene kind of upped it a little bit for me because I love, demonic, entities, Evil Dead-esque. But I would have to give it a 5 out of 10. Which is, a okay rate, a decent rating.
That's bigger than I thought you were going to give, yeah.
It's actually, it's good. It's not something that I'll, purchase in the future or anything, but I would definitely give it a 5 out of 10.
Well, that compromises my position because I thought you were going to go lower and make my job a little easier. So I'm looking at between 5 and an 8. I honestly thought you were going to go lower than a 5. I would have honestly said probably, I want to say 6.5. Make it complicated.
Okay, that's cool.
But it's like I enjoyed it. I took it for what it was. Enjoyed the acting, and it didn't bore me. There wasn't a second I was bored.
Oh, no, not at all.
So I might have been.
The first half hour I thought was pretty fucking boring, but
it wasn't boring to me. I was confused. And after the end of the movie, I was questioning myself, sexuality included. But but I enjoyed it enough.
Nothing new. I'm just joking.
Yeah, I'm watching Conan right now while we're doing this, and I'm questioning my sexuality. Everything makes me question my sexuality.
Oh, I love Conan.
I'm just kidding. Okay. I'm just kidding out there, folks, ladies.
Conan O'Brien.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Conan the Barbarian. But...
No, dude, come on, man. You're the only person that thinks of Arnold Conan when they say that nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
That dreaded remake, eh?
Yeah.
That's true.
Heard it sucked.
Yeah, I heard it was horrible.
But yeah, good pick overall. We might not have loved it, but
definitely not the worst.
Worst.
No, I've seen worse, and I think worse has probably been reviewed on here. So.
Oh yeah, and I'm curious to know, anybody that listens to the show, I'm curious. It's the movie streaming on Netflix, so if you have Netflix, go on there and check it out, and let us know what you think. I mean, obviously we were all kind of in, different spots with it, so.
And that's what I like. I like a movie that we can actually be, we don't have to be like, oh, this movie's the greatest movie. Like, I like a movie we can actually, pick apart a little bit, and
sure.
We don't have to suck it off or whatever. But but that's The Violent Kind. So yeah, definitely give that a watch on Netflix. It's been streaming for a while, so
yeah, check it out. Let us know your thoughts.
And let's jump into the trailer of Showdown.
For over 400 years, they've developed their own mysterious traditions. For over 400 years, they've had a strict code of honor and unparalleled standards of respect. For over 400 years, they have terrorized the streets of Japan. Now, they want to control the city of Los Angeles. Determined to leave their mark in blood. Dolph Lundgren and Brandon Lee are ready for a showdown in Little Tokyo. They're two LA cops who are hungry for a little takeout. Dolph Lundgren, Brandon Lee. Showdown in Little Tokyo.
Great Showdown trailer. Let's jump into the movie a little bit. Do you want to take it over there, Red? Kind of tell us, who the director is and when the movie was made and everything.
Yeah, this was the RiverRocket pick for the show.
Yeah. Okay, the movie was directed by Mark L. Lester. It stars the incredible Dolph Lundgren, a.k.a. Drago. Mm-hmm. Brandon Lee, God rest his soul. Sue me if I can't pronounce his name right. I've never been able to pronounce it right, but I'm just going to go for it. Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa. I'll just say Cary Tagawa. I always forget the middle part because it's too hard.
A.K.A. Shang Tsung.
Yeah, that guy rules.
And then Tia Carrere.
Tia Carrere. Oh, yeah.
That bass player's a babe.
Dreamweaver.
Yeah.
Monita, stupid incompetent bitch.
Yeah.
I love everybody's kung fu fighting. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Which movie are we reviewing here? Anyway.
Okay. Wait, go ahead.
Anyway, it came out in 1991. It was a huge flop, and I don't know why. I mean, because it's just 80. It wasn't 80s, but it was, at the turn of the 90s.
It was definitely, yeah.
They, 1991, the movies were still very 80s. Like Lionheart came out that time. It was total 80s. Still had the montage. Still had the cheesy no-name 80s band singing this triumphant song at the end. And so we were still kind of there. And it was a huge flop. I think it made like $2 million or something. It was ridiculous, but people didn't respect it. Anyway, it takes place in Little Tokyo within Los Angeles, thus the title. You've got Dolph Lundgren's character. He's born in Japan and raised in Japan, but he's obviously, wider than River's ass. And he's in Los Angeles. And that's what's funny about it, because then he hooks up with a new partner who is Brandon Lee, who is actually partially Asian, but he's totally American. So it's kind of that clash there, and it's supposed to be funny, I guess.
Yeah, he is not in touch with his Asian roots whatsoever.
No, he's not. He's totally Valley. He's so Valley and Mall. Yeah. He's that type of guy. And then Dolph Lundgren spewing about ancient Japanese, stuff and whatever. Anyway,
Dolph Lundgren was more Asian than Brandon Lee was in that movie.
That's right, pretty much.
Well, that was the joke. That's what it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
And I like this movie because it pretty much follows a formula. And I like that with a movie like this. I don't need something, Mark Twain-esque in the script. But basically, there's a lot of flashbacks to Dolph's childhood, which I'm going to keep calling him Dolph. His name in the movie was Chris Kenner, but I'm sorry. We're going to call him Dolph. There's flashbacks of when he was a kid in his village in Japan and his parents were murdered. Okay, we've all seen this done before. which, I bet you guys can guess it. Shang Tsung's character was the one that killed his parents, but his character is pretty much the leader of this sub-gang within the Yakuza clan.
Yakuza.
Exactly. And basically he's, same old. He's distributing drugs and doing his thing, and he's pretty much using gangs of the local area, like the Hells Angels, the Crips, to distribute it for him and kind of cutting the profits, doing it smart, keeping clean. Yeah. And that's basically where we're at. The movie actually picks up why these two cops get on the case.
Well, they both can't work with any other cops. That's the thing. They all their partners end up, quitting, or they end up getting rid of their partners.
Yeah, they're kind of like the clandestine fucking partnership.
Yeah, well, they couldn't be more different in personality, but they both bond that they're both very savvy in the martial arts, and actually this movie is just loaded and laden with homophobic undertones. It's your basic buddy cop movie with that formula, but man, those guys are so gay and they want each other's rods.
I'd say more, homoerotic than homophobic.
Which we'll get to my favorite line here soon on that topic.
Speaking of their martial arts background, I remember that part to where Brandon Lee was like, or Dolph was like, "Oh, how many years have you had training?" He's like, "Since I was 4." He's like, "Not long enough," or some stupid like that.
You have the right to remain. You have the right to be dead. It's loaded with a lot of cool, stupid one-liners and stuff.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Anyway,
sorry, man. One quick note before I forget to mention it. The director, Mark L. Lester, he is the one that did Class of 1984, which
he's fucking great.
You really love too. So I enjoy that guy's movies. So
he did Commando too, didn't he?
Did he do Commando? I think he might have.
Did he direct that? He might have.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he directed Commando. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Anyway, let's get basically Brandon Lee's character and Dolph Lundgren's character. They bust this one guy. In this brawl, he loses his shirt. He sees a tattoo on his body, and it sends Dolph into flashback mode. And that's one of the flashbacks we see of his. One of many flashbacks we see when his father and mother are killed, and you see little kid Dolph, because he recognizes the tattoo as a symbol of that gang that killed his folks. So
this was after they took him into custody, though.
Yeah, they took him into custody and they tried questioning him, and then he killed himself by snapping his own neck, which I didn't even think was possible.
It's the honorable death. Don't you know that?
but I mean, like,
that was crazy, though. That was awesome, dude. I like that.
So you got Shang Tsung's character. He's doing what he's doing. There's a key scene in the movie is where he takes out sort of a competition. There's this other gentleman, Asian gentleman, that owns a really popular nightclub within Little Tokyo. He has him killed, which, by the way, the scene's incredible, where he has him crushed in a car compactor.
Okay, you're getting into this. Let me jump right in here. One thing. One frame in the movie they show where he's getting crushed in the thing. You can obviously tell it's a dummy, dude.
No, that's what I was about to get into.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's why the scene's so incredible. It's not because he's getting crushed in a car compactor. We've seen better stuff than that. It's because it's the most blatant, obvious dummy in the world. And I love it.
It's horrible. I love it, though. Yeah, I agree.
And there's one more good one, too, I'll point out. Something just as cheesy. But yeah, he kills this guy, and he takes over his club. Anyway, we have this big scene where he's throwing a party at the new club he's acquired because he's just killed his competition and taken it over. And there's this one American girl. This is where we get into the situation. I guess she is one of his girls. She's a white girl and into drugs and cocaine, that whole scene. Anyway, she gets in trouble. She gets in trouble for supposedly tipping off the guy he just killed. Shang Tsung, I keep calling him Shang Tsung, forgive me, whatever, was after him, and he got wind of this. So that's that whole scene where he pulls her into the office and, expresses his concern for her disloyalty, and she tries to offer herself to him, like sex and her body and whatever. He ain't falling.
she wanted to do it in front of all of his cronies too that are standing around. That's what she said.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, he gave her some drugs or whatever, some methamphetamines, and you know, he starts kind of seducing her and groping her and doing her whole thing before decapitating her. And this is my favorite scene in the movie because if you push pause right at the right time and just kind of skip it by frame, her head turns into a paper mache head.
Oh, really? I'll have to go back and...
Yeah, dude, pause it right before he's about to do it, just frame skip it, and it turns into, like, the worst paper mache head you've ever seen, and it's brilliant.
But the thing is about that scene is if they could have, you know, added an extra couple frames of the... I mean, they showed that head getting cut off, but they showed, like, a few seconds more, I think it'd have been crazy, dude.
Yeah. Well, the thing is they did originally. That movie had an NC-17 rating. They had to trim it. Yeah, it did. They took out, I think it was 1 or 2 extra frames of the head slicing scene that put it over the edge, like you said you wanted. Yeah, so that was definitely extended. Like, you can actually see a severed head, like, afterwards. I don't know if they showed it or they picked it up or what. We haven't gotten to it yet, but...
Shang Tsung picked it up and had sex with it.
I don't know, but... But, you know, yeah, it had to be really, really toned down because I guess it was really violent. And also... We'll get to it in a moment, and I'll come back to it where they took out a scene. But the movie progresses, and so this chick's obviously dead. This is where the cops come into play, and then it's kind of, you know, they go to the scene of the crime, and of course he's connecting it with the whole Yakuza gang, and he's trying to dig deep in that sense. Yada yada yada. Tia Carrere's character comes in. She's like she works for the nightclub as a performer, and she was friends with this girl that was murdered by Shang Tsung, and this is where it all comes in.
Murdered by Shang Tsung.
You know, I'm sorry, man. These people are...
It's hard to pronounce his name, I agree.
No, Cary Tagawa. I can say Cary Tagawa. I just like... He's Shang Tsung to me. You know how that goes.
No, I agree, Shang Tsung. Go ahead. Sorry.
So Drago goes looking for Shang Tsung.
It's perfect, dude.
Then the crow shows up.
Yeah, the crow. Hey, people can relate to that, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so anyway, it just kind of, there's this big scene where they go and bust the joint open. They find out where Shang Tsung is chilling out with his cronies, and they're in a big it's that hot tub scene, that big steam room. Which is an awesome scene too, because they get into this giant shower room brawl. Freaking the Crow, Drago, and Shang Tsung and his freaking cronies. And I love that scene where Dolph is fighting the big fat guy in the pool, you know, and the famous scene where he stabs him in the gut under the water.
Yeah.
And then you hear that like cheesy stock scream everybody in the world's using every movie and cartoon. The Aura Monster scream. You guys remember that? Yeah.
They're all wearing their fucking. What are they called? Sumo wrestler diapers. Yeah, there you go.
I love how I love how that fat guy is just. I love how he actually makes audible noise underwater.
He's like swimming underwater, dude, like doing laps and shit, dude.
But that's one of the scenes also that got cut. No, that scene got cut also because that scene was a lot more gruesome originally as well. Because in the original one, he stabs him and then he twists the knife around gruesomely in him, and they took that out and just pretty much left it at the stabbing.
Do they have an uncut version of this, or like? Because I just have it in like an action double feature, but
no, they don't. No, because I have the original as well, and it's not uncut. I think they stripped it down to release it in theaters, so there's not an uncut. I believe. I don't think they didn't really have a whole lot of uncut stuff back in the day. I don't think.
Yeah.
Whatever they released is what we got. But anyway, so somehow in the mix of all this, they retreat to Dolph Lundgren's home, which I guess he built with his bare hands. It's very Japanese style.
Yeah, he's Dolph Lundgren, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, that's right. He's
just sitting in the hot tub with Tia the whole time.
Tia Carrere. If he can break Sylvester Stallone, he can build a freaking Japanese hut.
Surprised he didn't build a Japanese empire.
Absolutely. So yeah, of course he's going to get the girl because he's the awkward-looking white guy. But yeah, there's.
Well, I mean, he has a thundercock, dude.
Well, yeah, we're getting to that. Trust me. they're at the retreat. They're trying to keep her safe, especially. And then there's that scene where they all go to bed, but of course he's in the hot tub, and then she comes out and kind of seduces them. May I get in? Takes off her freaking robe, and you see her smoking body, and they get in. Yay. And it just kind of, lets our minds fill in the gap of what happened. And anyway, the place gets raided by the Yakuzas, and then here we go. We got that scene where he has to get out. We see his big, muscly, shiny ass, and he has to get his sword ready and his whatever.
Yeah, that's a tight, hard ass too.
Yeah, he's still like Van Damme. I like seeing Van Damme's oiled down ass. His ass like in Lionheart. Dude, I could see my reflection in Van Damme's ass in that movie.
Brandon Lee's all fucking jealous because he's...
No. Yeah, dude, that's the best. That's the greatest line in the whole movie because these people are raiding the house, and then it's this. You find Brandon Lee. There's this awkward moment. They're like looking at a window or whatever, getting ready, loading up, and he just he makes it aware that he saw what happened outside in the hot tub, and he's like, "And let me just say, you have the biggest cock I've ever seen on a man." And it's just really awkward. And the Dolphins like, "Thanks." Thanks. And neither one of them are good actors, so it just makes it even more awkward. You have the biggest cock I've ever seen on a man. Thanks. It's like, who says that? I mean, if Lush, if I walked in on you in the hot tub in the backyard and you had a massive 10-inch dong, I would probably never want to speak of it again, and I'd probably lie about how mine was for the rest of my days. I would sit there and compliment you and be like, wow, can I see it? Can I touch it sometime?
Great job, buddy.
Yeah, good job.
Take your vitamins.
Oh, yeah, so basically Dolph's, half naked in the house, fighting off all the bad guys and throwing sais and ninja stars and whatever he can find. The fucking bad guys. There's probably like 30 or 40 Yakuza corralling the hut.
Rustling up the doggy.
And, of course, Brandon Lee has the big shotgun, and he's fucking blowing people away. But yet, the white guy is using all the Japanese sais and weapons and what have you. But which is kind of funny too.
In the midst of all this, I was saying Tia Carrere's character gets kidnapped while they're distracted, and Dolph ends up losing the hut. If I remember correctly, it burns down. I don't know. And that's where you learn, I built out my bare hands type of thing. But so anyway, they got to go looking for Tia Carrere now. They got to go looking for Cassandra.
Well, they have him captive, dude. They have him fucking tied up and shit.
Oh yeah. Well, you fill me in, man. Yeah, exactly. I missed a whole plot point.
Well, yeah. I mean, they take him captive, and
that's a good scene where they're in the truck.
Yeah, I mean, and then they have him like strapped to some I don't know, some metal. I don't even know what you call it, like sewer metal, grate or something, and they're fucking electrocuting him and shit. And it's like fucking Total Recall when they're like going crazy. That type of stuff. But, it's kind of funny. But, I mean, they have I think they have like needles and shit sticking out of their stomach too, which doesn't make sense. It's like they're doing some sort of acupuncture at the same time, which is kind of funny. But, and then you kind of jump into like Tia Carrere, her and Shang Tsung. He pretty much wants to, get his dick stroked and shit from her. So and hold her hostage at the same time. But
might as well get every bang for your buck you can,
Exactly, and that's what kind of leads into the trying to go after Tia and go ahead, take it over.
Well, no, yeah. They go after her. She's gone. They escape because they're, hard asses. Shang Tsung rapes Tia Carrere's character, which, by the way, that's something else that was edited. We didn't really see much, but the original was pretty brutal from what I've read.
Yeah.
And they cut that out. That was an NC-17 guarantee, I guess is what they said. But, so of course they go seek vengeance, and pretty much it all leads up to the final showdown in Little Tokyo in the middle of the streets, and it takes us pretty much to that. And there's really nothing else to really talk about. It's just kind of your classic fight.
Well, let me jump in here. There is something to talk about.
What?
Dolph Lundgren's gi or whatever the hell he's wearing, his stupid bandana that he wears with the fucking Japanese flag on his bandana.
he ditches the whole I'm no longer an American cop. Yeah, I have to get into warrior mode.
Gets his fucking gi on, dude. And,
he just like totally hates. He just totally hates being white.
His fucking submachine gun, and he thinks he's fucking Rambo, dude, which he is. But
yeah, he's like only the ninja can rescue this. Go in stealth mode.
Which ninja uses a fucking submachine gun, which is pretty funny. That's very ninja-esque. I'm sure your daddy taught you well.
Don't you dare bring up his daddy in front of him. He'll teach you.
I know, dude.
Hey, when I took Taekwondo back in the 6th grade, they taught us machine gun training.
Okay.
Taekwondo, you pussy.
Hey, my grandma signed me up. Fuck off.
Anyway, so that's pretty much the meat of it, though. It all leads up to that final showdown scene, which, of course, it all comes out that, I'm the one that killed your parents type of deal. And which blows my mind. This whole scene's great because there's like a carnival going on. And in the middle of the streets, Shang Tsung takes his shirt off to reveal his traditional body of tattoos, representing the gang. But it's so clear that he's wearing a see-through T-shirt, with these prints on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You can see the plastic sleeves and the plastic neck hole. So it's all, they couldn't even afford just to give him fake tattoos for that one scene, paint them on him. They had to give us this freaking...
It's horrible, dude. And fucking Dolph Lundgren's wearing a skirt gauchos, or I don't know what you want to call them, but they're like man-made gauchos, dude.
Does anybody remember Shang Tsung's death scene and how great that was? Do you remember it?
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Go ahead and talk about it. You talk about it.
Well, basically, doesn't he get thrown against some twirling
like a wheel, like a spin
twirling wheel, and fireworks are going off, and was there a bunch of knives thrown at him, and then
the whole deal,
the whole thing starts, the whole thing blows up at the end with him on it, which is fucking hilarious.
It's a great in an otherwise pretty by the book cliche action movie. It's got a really, really creative kill scene for the final film.
That was pretty epic.
I love it. It's my second favorite kill scene next to the Shredder in the original Turtles. The old falling off the rooftop and getting crushed in the trash compactor. I love that. And then he doesn't die. He's just in the dumpster in the second movie. He just survived. He's got a couple scratches on his face. Okay.
When Shang Tsung gets stabbed by the saber knife, I don't know what you call it, the knife or the katana or whatever. It looks fucking horribly fake. And then he throws him into this thing, and he's gonna throw him into it, and he's gonna stick to this twirling. I don't know what you want to call it, Japanese whatever. It looks ridiculous, but it's it's fun though.
Yeah, you're right, because he impaled him with the katana, and then thrust him on this wheel, and he's just he just spreads all his limbs out across this wheel, he's. I don't know, he knows he's supposed to be on a wheel, and it starts spinning around.
And then the dummy body just keeps going around and around. It's hitting the cement and everything, and just looks horrible. But it's great though. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, and then that's the movie. Yada yada yada. We assume him and Tia Carrere have lots of white, awkward, ugly Asian babies, and and Dolph has found a new friend in the Crow, and they live happily ever after. Some cheesy words are said at the end. Smiles given and nods done, and credits roll and cheesy 80s theme endures. That's pretty much it.
It's you know what though, it's a great action film, and I think it stands on its own for some of these action films are just completely horrible, but this one I actually I look back and I actually remember a lot about it. It's not the typical Steven Seagal piece of shit movie. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
I'm not usually... No, I love this movie. This is one of my favorite action movies ever. Like I said, it's formulaic and traditional in many ways, but, that's almost why I watch a lot of those action movies, because I know what I'm getting, and I like that. I'm comfortable with that. And they're campy and all that stuff, and I've been watching it for years. And normally I'm not a fan of Dolph Lundgren as a leading man, because most any other movie that he's a leading man, minus and omit He-Man, are straight to DVD. Just kind of low budget, minus Masters of the Universe, which that movie blows. That's for another time.
Oh, come on, man.
Hey, it's for another time. I'm glad we disagree on that. The key!
Yeah. Gildor, was that it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Dildo or something?
Dildo, yeah, that works for me. You got an 8-pack. You're cast. It's like, don't even bother letting the guy read a few lines from the script to see if he's good. Okay. But anyway, like I said, it's...
the sorceress. Sorry.
He's not a leading man. He's not, but I love him in this movie. And
I love Brandon Lee too. He's fucking great.
I love Brandon Lee. Brandon Lee really did even in The Crow, he wasn't a great actor by any stretch, but he was getting better. Like if you watch the few movies he was in, each one he got a little better. He was on a stride, and I really think he could have had a lot more promising of a career.
Did you ever see Rapid Fire? I think he was in
yeah.
that too.
Yeah, Rapid Fire is amazing. That came before Showdown.
I've never seen that.
I have it, man. I had to you ought to check it out. It's
is it good?
Pretty good. Yeah.
It's really good because I saw Showdown first. That was my first Brandon Lee movie because he's only had a few movies. That one movie that we were bringing up, that laser whatever. And then whatever. I don't think anybody saw that. And then you have Rapid Fire, and then with Powers Booth, Mr. 80s bad guy himself next to Eric Roberts, and then you had this movie, and then you had The Crow, and then we all know what happened after that. Mm-hmm. But Rapid Fire, I had seen Showdown for so many years. Then I came across Rapid Fire maybe like 6 years ago or 7 years ago, and I wasn't used to Brandon Lee being the leading man because I was just so accustomed to him being kind of the bumbling sidekick, complimenting his dick,
Yeah.
And he was a good leading man, and it was a good movie, good action movie, good cop movie, and he held his own the whole movie, and it's really, really good, really good. And anyway, he got better and better with each movie, I think, and he still wasn't peaked at The Crow, of course. Now, a lot of people think, he could have been huge. I don't think so because, The Crow wouldn't be what it is unless he died. That's the reason why it holds cult status. Come on.
You know what, though? Back for a 90s film, though, it was pretty... it was a pretty dark and kind of an epic film.
It was pretty innovative.
It stands out, I think.
It is a good movie.
The 90s, dude.
It is a good movie. The acting's awful, even down to freaking Winston, Winston Bettemore, freaking Ernie Hudson. He's the only person that's good in it. But
he was a little more grounded. Everybody else was really over the top.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's one of those situations where it throws the movie out of whack because he is good and everybody else isn't because you need consistency. But no, I do like The Crow, and it's plus the bad guy in it's the guy from Three Musketeers. I might have been mistaken.
What?
I don't know, dude. I still like Ernie Hudson, dude. I think he's great.
I love Ernie Hudson, man. That guy will do anything for a dime. He's a working actor.
I love to talk to Ernie Hudson, though.
I love Ernie Hudson. That's a big Twinkie.
That villain guy. What's his name's what's Michael Winslow, I think.
Yeah.
The Police Academy guy. I saw Michael Winslow stand up one time.
No, what the fuck? not that Michael Winslow. God, what the fuck? His name's Michael Wincott, maybe? I don't know. But he's good, man. He was in that fucking... You ever see that Eddie Murphy flick called Metro?
I never saw it.
He was the villain.
Heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good movie. You should check it out. But he was the villain in that, too. And he was he was great in that one also.
Wait, whoa. Are we talking about... What is he also the villain? What's the common movie here that we're comparing?
Oh, from The Crow. The villain.
Is that the bad guy in The Crow? Okay, I didn't know his name. But yeah, he's the second in command under Tim Curry in Three Musketeers. And there's another movie he's in. I can't think of it. Oh, he's in Alien Resurrection.
Yeah. There's one scene in that Eddie Murphy flick Metro where the villain guy, he's in jail and Eddie Murphy's talking to him on the phone through the glass or whatever. And the dude's starting to threaten Eddie Murphy. He's like, "We have a saying in Naples." And fucking Eddie Murphy's like, "We ain't in no motherfucking Naples," and just freaks out on him. It was great, but yeah, that guy is a fucking awesome villain.
He really is, man. He just got that voice.
I forgot your homeboy RiverRocket Tony Todd was in The Crow.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I know how big of a Tony Todd fan you are.
Yeah, you know what, man, we've been over this.
I know, I'm just messing with you, too.
When I was a kid, kid, I thought Tony Todd played the voodoo priest in the original Child's Play, but of course it's not. But I always thought they were one and the same. You were an abomination. I love that guy, man. Not anymore, Doc. Not no more. That whole scene.
Yeah, Michael Wincott. That's the guy's name.
I still think Michael Winslow's a better villain. I like stand up.
3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. What the heck is bothering me?
Hey, that's Carl Winslow.
I know. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. I had to give Carl a shout out.
Like, I love you, Harriet.
Mother Winslow.
I love
Pack your bags, Edward. Pack your bags, Edward.
Hop in, Dad.
Hop in, Dad.
We'll have to do a Family Matters episode someday.
We just really got away from Showdown.
I don't care. It's fun, man. we pretty much wrapped up Showdown. We wrapped up the movie. And then we were just talking about Brandon Lee and his movies and stuff.
We went from Showdown to The Crow to Metro to Family Matters.
Well, I kind of wanted to linger on Michael Winslow a bit more, but we wanted to ditch him all the quicker. I don't know why.
But let's jump into a rate or skulls. How many skulls do you want to give this film? Who wants to go first?
I'll start it by saying that the rating system is very odd. It just depends on what you're going for. For this kind of movie, man, I would give it 9, just because it's my type of movie, and it's a 9 within this genre. If you get what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm going. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's it for me, man. What about you guys?
What you got, Riverman?
I would go off of cheese, off of good one-liners, actors. They're not solid actors, but they're great actors for action films. Shang Tsung, I think, he's the highlight of this movie for me. Of course, I love Brandon Lee and Dolph, but Shang Tsung is... I'm still calling him Shang Tsung, what the fuck. But he's still... he's the villain that just... he gives me the creeps. Watching him in everything. Even in like a Mortal Kombat or something, I'm like, okay, he's the token villain that should be the villain. And because there's some movies out there that they throw in like a bad villain, which kind of ruins the whole movie. But that kind of made the movie for me. The death scenes were really cool, creative. The beheading was crazy. I really liked that, and the car compact scene. I would definitely recommend this movie. I would give it an 8 out of 10. 10. Let's just say. I don't know, my rating scale would be different. 10 out of 10 for me for an action movie. It would be Total Recall 10 out of 10.
Absolutely.
This would be 8 out of 10 for me.
T2 would be an 11 out of 10. To me, that's the Gone with the Wind of action movies as far as...
I agree. That'd be a 10 out of 10 too. But this would be an 8 out of 10 for me. I really enjoy it, and I would highly recommend it.
And I was going off as well. I would say my ranking goes from nostalgia as well, just because I grew up with this movie.
Yeah.
That definitely helps. But yeah, definitely. And I want to say before Lush gives his rating, Shang Tsung, like you said, he is pretty much typecast as that villain. He plays that same villain in every movie. He might steal souls in one. He might just kill freaking and snort blow off of hookers in another. Whatever. He's the same guy. But it makes it all the more delightful.
He's such a great villain, though.
Well, it makes it all the more delightful when you watch him in an interview, and he's so humble, and he doesn't even talk like that. He's like, well, it's a really great movie. He's more white than us, man. He's like, it's a great movie, and I like it. And he's like, you fool! He puts on that voice and all.
Your soul is mine.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'd love to see him in just like a normal movie where he's like just a working class dude, just normal, Well,
he has been.
He's so weird.
He was in a Disney movie called Johnny Tsunami.
Oh yeah, he was in Johnny Tsunami,
and he played Johnny Tsunami's grandpa. He was a surfer.
He was a nice guy in that one.
He was a nice guy. He talked in his normal voice, like, "Hey, Johnny, come on, man, let's hit the waves."
Yeah, I'll teach you how to surf, Johnny.
He didn't talk like that. He totally talked like a white.
Teach you how to surf, Johnny.
I don't know. I was just kind of making up my own.
You were being a racist. Let's zone on the problem. You have to focus and admit the problem before we can cure you.
That was some stereotyping there. Well, wasn't he supposed to be? I don't know. I don't want to dig myself a deeper hole.
Take a look in the mirror, Lush.
I'll just give the fucking rating. How about that?
Hey, before you give the rating, I want to throw out. He was also in the movie Twins.
Was he?
Yeah, I IMDb'd him. A few days ago. He plays the Oriental Man. That's his name.
Did he say something like, "Oh, you are twins"?
Yeah, probably, dude.
Oh, I'm gonna get in so much trouble,
dude. They forget. You know what? His scene might have got cut because I've seen Twins a million times. I don't know.
Oh, dude, that's what it said on IMDb.
Time to go back and watch it one more time.
I love it. I love it how they refer to as their creation as the sperm milkshake. Danny DeVito.
Oh yeah, I love Twins, dude.
Dude, Danny DeVito's great.
Oh, okay. Go for it, Lush. Go for it.
Rating time. For this one, based on cheese and just like you said, Red, the nostalgia of it. I mean, I know that when I was in whatever fuck grade I was in, I was young when that movie came out. I must have watched it 100 fucking times because it was awesome and it showed Tia Carrere's tits in it. And it was, it had like great death scenes and shit. So yeah, based on cheese and like nostalgia and goofy one-liners, and then just like the little mishaps where like it wasn't meant to be like that, but you could totally tell it's a dummy in the car when it gets crushed, shit like that. It just makes it even funnier. I'd be apt to give it a 8.5, something like that. Probably an 8.5 to a 9, let's say.
Very good.
Somewhere in between there. It's a really fun movie, and it's one that I would like to watch every so often, just to have a laugh at it and just enjoy it.
That's cool.
Just for old time's sake.
Oh,
we see a theme here. We see a theme here when we all pick a movie from our childhood. We're of course all going to like it. We need to, in the first movie where you saw it and recommended it, we were pretty divided.
Yeah.
So we should have one of those every episode, at least one of those dividers.
Oh, for sure, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, cool.
Well, I think we've beaten the horse to death on these fucking reviews.
Yeah,
it's fun.
But let's lead out into our closing segment.
Oh man, you guys have been listening to Behind the Masks. Thanks a lot.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. This is the closing segment.
Hey kiddos.
We hope you enjoyed the reviews of The Violent Kind and Showdown in Little Tokyo. This was the Showdown episode. I kind of threw it on there between the Showdown, Little Tokyo, and The Violent Kind, and I have to say the Showdown won. But I don't know. That's just me.
Different kind of movie.
Different kind of movie, and I agree.
I'm partial, man. I grew up with Showdown, so I give it to Showdown.
Showdown in Little Tokyo?
I guess it really can't be a showdown with two different kinds of movies, but maybe we'll do that later. But
we kind of had a little showdown on the review of The Violent Kind, I'd say.
Yeah, no, we did.
I had my Glock gripped. I was about ready to pull it out.
I'll slurp in some beer for you.
Yeah.
We just want to say a special thanks to the guys from Exploited for coming on and talking about movies they recently watched, and
that was fun.
I think we had a pretty solid review on the new Anthrax album. And, of course, some reviews on some movies. So we hope you guys enjoyed that. Give us some feedback, of course, on the Facebook page and everything. We really appreciate any feedback, anything you want to throw at us. More than welcome to put whatever you want on the Facebook page. Don't be shy. We know there's listeners out there, and we're not getting a whole lot of feedback from people, but we do have some fan questions.
Yeah, we want more, and like you said, River. Yeah, people, don't be shy. Believe me. I mean, we're just a bunch of fucking jackasses. So you can talk to us.
Yeah, talk to us, bullshit with us. I mean, we're more than willing to talk. I mean, that's all. I mean, that's what this show's all about. So, getting to know people and having fun. So, but yeah, right. I think we have a few fan questions, don't we?
Let's do those.
God, we kind of have to go back because I think we kind of skipped over the fan questions.
Hey, I'm glad we got to go back because there's a couple things I want to mention. Do we want do we want to pitch the fact that we have a website coming soon? The fact that we're talking about people interacting? That'll be so much easier when we have a forum. Is that a bad idea to start talking about that? I don't think so. I mean, if we're confident it's going to happen.
We're planning on bigger things with Behind the Mask, and hopefully.
But I mean, should we pitch that? I mean, do we ever want to like mention that? I mean, because it'll be easy to get. Once we, I don't know, but and also it's kind of a shame. But I wanted to talk about The Walking Dead, a little bit. Talk about.
Oh yeah,
that.
we're going to get into that. I think on the next one.
Yeah.
Okay, and
that is coming soon.
I totally forgot to mention. I should have mentioned it on the Anthrax thing, but Scott Ian got to be a zombie on the new season.
Really?
Yeah, he's an Uber fan. He's like a nerd. He writes for DC Comics too.
Nice.
He's a big nerd, and he actually got to be a part of Battlestar Galactica too. And yeah, I saw screenshots where they made him up to be a zombie. He looked badass. They did such a good job on him and all that good stuff. But anyway.
Oh, I'm definitely looking forward to checking him out when
the
new show drops.
I don't know what he's going to be doing in it, but he'll be a zombie. But yeah, so we're redoing this or what?
Yeah.
Dip into the fan.
We got a few questions. I don't know if you guys have yours pulled up or whatever, but one from Chris Blackshear, and this goes back to episode 6, last episode. Basically. He says, give me Ryan Nicholson over Michael Bay any day. Also, I've been jamming out to a couple Fear Factory albums a bit. Pretty good. Haven't really gotten to much Machine Head yet, but Brothers in Arms has been getting heavy rotation in my car, which is fucking kick-ass. Because
that made me very happy to read, absolutely. There's always space in the disc changer for that.
Oh, yeah, I mean, can't go wrong with any Dire Straits album, or Mark Knopfler's solo stuff's good, too, so, it's the type of music that, anybody can get into. I mean, my old lady is actually, really big into Dire Straits now. I throw it on the record player all the time, and, we chill out to it before we go to bed or whenever.
Right.
And,
who's the old lady? That's my old lady. Sorry. No, dude, yeah, we'll see. The thing is, especially an album like Brothers in Arms, more than any other album, it's such a mixed bag. Every song has a different style. It's very... And yet it works. Yet it's not like a big cluster of just crap, It's just... I don't know. It's inconsistent in a very consistent way. It makes no sense. But, yeah, there's something there for everybody, man. If your lady wants to get in the mood, put on your latest trick. It'll drop.
And the funny you say that, because that's actually one of my favorite songs on the album, besides Brothers in Arms, which is great too. But the latest trick is the saxophone just makes me fucking melt.
Yeah, you're looking for a thinking man song, something to weep in your beer. Listen to Brothers in Arms, and think about Fallen Cronies. If you just want to dance a little bit and rejoice, put on Walk of Life. There's something there for everybody. And if you just want to straight up MTV rock, put on Money for Nothing, and think about Weird Al Yankovic. Because I always think about Weird Al as well when I hear that song. But.
And the little faggot with the earring and the makeup.
Yeah, that's Nicky Six.
Nicky Six, yeah.
They wrote that song about Motley Crue.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. Screw Motley Crue. They shouldn't come up twice in one episode. They're not worthy.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry we didn't get to the questions last time. I figured we'd throw them all in one bag. So
was there even a was that even a
there wasn't a question?
A question? Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a question. It was kind of more a comment.
Yeah.
Kind of getting back to stuff we talked about in the last episode.
It makes me happy that somebody's actually taking some of that, like going out and listening to that stuff. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's cool. I mean, if anybody listens to that stuff, Chris has always been supportive, and I think he was there from day one, actually listening to like Testament, when I recommended stuff, and actually making the attempts to go out and listen to Fear Factory, which, by the way, like I said, that newest album is ridiculously good, and even the Dire Straits, man, that's a man with versatility right there. That's somebody I could hang with. So.
And let me jump into his question, because that was more of a comment. But, yeah, he does have a question. He says, what's up, freaks? Easy question for the next show. Sellouts. It happens in music and movies all the time. Who is the biggest sellouts in music, and what is the best movie remakes?
Oh God, don't make me bring him up a third time. Nikki Sixx. No, I'm just kidding. He always sucked. So.
Yeah. Okay, we'll let you guys can jump into the music sellouts because I'm kind of.
It just depends on how you define a sellout, man. I mean, so many people could. I mean, it's easy to say, Metallica's a big sellout, or certain people are sellouts. But man, I don't necessarily define certain obvious things as selling out. Someone like Metallica, they always did things on their own terms. Let's see, who I think would be a sellout. Oh. I don't know, man. Lush, do you have one on the top of your head?
I'm sitting here trying to think about it. Sellout in music. Like you said, I mean, I know a shit ton of people say Metallica, but, I can't hate on somebody for wanting to explore their, creativity in music,
Well, they've always been about taking bold chances. It's like if they were in it for certain motives, then I would think have played it safer. It's like, my God, they're coming out with that next album that's just getting all kinds of backlash right off the tails of, sort of their comeback album. It's like, hey, we just earned some fans back. Let's piss them off again. Come on. It's like
one thing I will say, I can't think of anybody right off the top of my head, but somebody like I don't know, like somebody that was real fucking hard edge, like hardcore, like when they first came out, and then just started getting really, really poppy, like they were going with what was gonna sell records, which you can't say that about Metallica because, I mean, I'm sure me and a couple of buddies of mine refer to it as the album that won't be named, but the Saint Anger album.
Saint Anger, which I'm not a fan of. Let's just say that.
But, this is a sidestep. I mean, that album, it's not a finished product by any sense, and it's not good by any sense, but there's good stuff in there that just wasn't refined. I mean, and I don't know, there's bits and pieces that are good. For example, I think I sent it to you, River, but the Bridge School benefit performances, it's all acoustic. Anybody that plays that's all acoustic. And they played an acoustic show in 2007. And the only time they played it, it's the final track, the All Within My Hands, off that album. They did a totally new rendition. It was way shorter. It was like 6 minutes, and shaved and re-edited. It was acoustic. It was like a dark folk song. And it was incredible. It's like, wow. So this turned out to be a good song when they did something with it,
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Kind of my point with that is they weren't going out to sell more records. They were going out to just make something that they wanted to make, even though the album, I think everybody ultimately agrees, overall pretty much sucked. But people that just, start out like with their own kind of thing, but then they get real poppy, like, I don't know. Like I said, I can't think of anybody right off the top of my head, but I know there's a bunch of them out there. They just go real like fucking, what's going to be popular and what's going to sell records. And I think that's kind of selling out.
Well, if you want the person that did that more than anybody else, let's face it, it might be sacrilege here to bring up, the dead here, but Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson he only had a handful of solo records, honestly, and he jumped on every band. Now, he might have been the one that created, he was very inventive with Thriller. I'm going to give him that. But think about it. Off the Wall. Oh, wow. It sounded like Motown freaking disco of the day. Thriller came out. Then you had Bad, which totally synth-driven 80s stuff. Then you had Dangerous, which was totally cashing in on the Bobby Brown New Jack Swing sound that was hot. He was on the ball with that too, man. And everybody with any kind of career, long-standing career, was guilty of it at least once. So I don't. Yeah. I don't know. I think of Turbo Lover, for God's sakes. I'm your Turbo Lover. Yeah, I just don't know.
Well, what about the remakes? Best movie remake.
Okay, I'll jump into this real quick first, if you guys don't mind.
Hey, River, I already know what you're going to say. You're going to say Dawn of the Dead, right?
Oh God. No, I hate that fucking remake. But
it's horrible. It's horrible.
I don't like. Do you? Do you, RiverRocket?
I hate it,
dude. I freaking hate it too.
And the only thing worse than that is the Day of the Dead remake.
Yeah.
That's not even worthy of bringing up. Even if
haven't even watched that one.
Oh well, Nick Cannon's in it.
That's not a big Nick Cannon.
Enough said.
And Ving Rhames is in it again as somebody different.
If Ving Rhames isn't anything else other than Pulp Fiction, it's horrible. Let's just say that. But yeah, I'll just throw out my top 5 off the top of my head. I'll say Night of the Living Dead 90. That one's probably my favorite remake because I really enjoy it. There's a lot of people that don't like the film, but I mean, I like it. And
I saw it before the original, so that's why I love it so much. I saw it when I was a little kid.
And yeah, I remember calling in sick for school or whatever, and watching that on VHS when I was at home. It was like the highlight of my sick day or whatever from school. Nice. So that one I gotta say is my first one. The Hills Have Eyes is probably my second one. I really enjoyed that remake. As much as I'm gonna get shit for this Halloween, I like Rob Zombie. I like his his style and everything. Halloween, I really liked Halloween 1 and 2. I put those hand in hand with, in the top of my list. Of course, The Thing, John Carpenter. I got to put that one in there. And then for last, I got to put Last House on the Left. So those are probably my top 5.
Is that really in a proper order?
No, but Night of the Living Dead 90 is probably my favorite horror remake.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. But I don't know if you guys want to jump in on any of those. If you guys... I want to say you don't have to do a top 5 if you don't want to, but
people can dog Rob Zombie like you said, but you know what? He gets props in that list because hardly any remakes are good, and the fact that he pretty much made his own movie out of it gives him merit to be in that list. So
exactly.
Even though it's not a movie that's without flaw. I mean,
exactly. And none of the movies are like that in the remakes. He
made an entirely new movie, then remade the original in the last 20 minutes. But. For people like us that know the first original movie in and out, it didn't bug me, but
and I mean, I like I love the first, the original Halloween and everything, but there's always it holds a special place in my heart, the original, but I mean, I also like the remake. I mean, as much as everybody, why would you remake this movie? I mean, if there's anybody to remake it, it's Rob Zombie. I mean,
I didn't so much like the second one though. I thought that was kind of bollocks.
And
I was a fan of it.
I was a fan of it too. I really enjoyed it.
Well, I mean, it was a popcorn movie because we got the story out of the way in the first one, and the second one, man, he really became a fan of stabbing because it was just nonstop.
He got way brutal in that one.
It was just like really like a ton of stabbing, and that's the whole movie. And then you had the whole white horse thing, which I don't know if was necessary or not. That whole theme going throughout the movie, but I don't know.
It was something different, It was. Yeah, it was just something different to add to it, and
I haven't seen it since the theater, so I wouldn't mind watching it again. But yeah,
I
don't know.
I'd like to watch it again. Also, I mean, I think I saw it when it first came out on DVD. I mean, I have the first, Rob Zombie's Halloween. I have the first one on DVD, but I haven't picked up the second one yet, which I do plan to at some point here. I just I haven't had a shit ton of extra money as of late, but
it should be in the $5 bin at Walmart pretty soon. You'd think.
Probably, yeah.
Let's put it this way: I actually like the original Halloween 2 better than Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I like the setting of the original Halloween 2 better, and I just like the whole.
Okay, we can debate this, till the end because I like. A lot of people are giving me shit for this. I like Halloween 3 better than I like Halloween 2.
Really? So you know what?
Actually, Season of the Witch?
Yeah. I love Season of the Witch. I think
it had nothing to do with Michael Myers?
No.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, I actually I don't love Season of the Witch, but I actually like it too. And whenever it's on, I watch it because it's really cheesy and really campy, and I do like it. And
I think if it would have just been called Season of the Witch and not Halloween 3 Season of the Witch,
you know what? I don't mind that. Like a lot
because it had absolutely nothing to do with Michael Myers.
Well, it wasn't supposed to.
Fine,
Originally, they planned on making each Halloween movie with a different story and different villain, and 1 and 2 were essentially one movie, like split into 2. And in the second one, they believed, hey, we just killed off Michael Myers. Now the third one's going to have a totally different story, you know. So, and that's what they thought they were going to do. Then the third one bombed, and they're like, oh, screw this. Let's make a franchise and bring back Michael Myers and just make him the...
Yeah, I think it threw people off.
Yeah.
It threw people off, I think, in a good way, though. I mean, if I'm going to watch a Halloween movie, I'm going to watch the first one, the third one. That's when I mean, that's just me, though. I mean, I'm different. Like, I mean, I like Nightmare on Elm Street 2. That's my favorite.
Oh, yeah, dude, that one is my favorite, too. It's freaking got Kawato, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
But, no, that's the darkest one, man, and it gets so underlooked.
Oh, I agree, and all the, you know, the homo undertones in there.
Oh, that the lead character Scream, and he is gay in real life.
Oh, Mark Patton, yeah, he seems like a really cool guy, though.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't know. As far as mine, like I said, I agree on the Halloween remakes. I enjoyed those. In my eyes, Rob Zombie can really do no wrong.
No, I agree.
You know, I enjoy everything that he does.
I think he can do wrong. That freaking El Super Beasto movie was shite, but
yeah, I didn't enjoy that.
You know,
that was a cartoon. I mean,
it was okay. Like, I enjoyed it for one watch. I wouldn't go back and watch it again, but it was fun to watch one time. I thought.
I fell asleep. I didn't even make it through.
Really?
It put me out.
Yeah, it lasted 20 minutes. Me too, but.
Yeah,
I didn't. I mean, I'd go back and watch it, but I didn't love it. But I mean, it's a different kind of movie. It's not a horror movie or anything.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite remakes, though, in recent years that I've seen was, which was one of your picks, River, was The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh yeah.
I really enjoyed that one, and that was one that they definitely improved on the original, you know. Which is something I heard, you know, Wes Craven said, you know, that, you know, he wanted to do more with it, but they didn't have the time, they didn't have the budget.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were able to do what they were able to do, and that was it. And I really enjoyed the remake.
The original Hills Have Eyes, it's one of those, I get it, it's a cult classic, but it's one of those movies I can't ignore. It was boring.
Oh, you thought it was boring? I really enjoyed it.
I did the original, yeah.
No, I think the original's boring. I don't know. I don't care for it, but I liked the remake. And actually, I'll never forget the remake because you ever have that? Remember when you would see a movie and it actually made an impression on you, and you go and brag about it to all your friends, and you talk it up, and they all go see it, and they all think it's the shittiest piece of shit in the world, and they want to kick your ass for
every day of my life, man. And
it makes you feel embarrassed. Yeah. I did that with that movie. I loved it, and then pretty much I found out that every female in the world hated it. I mean, think that's rape scene for you.
The remake of Hills, or the original?
Oh yeah, no, the remake of Hills. And
really,
yeah. Oh, every female I told about it hated it, and I don't think there's a guy friends of mine that liked it, except for my buddy that I would see all those horror movies with here in town would. But that was one of those movies for me, and I'll just never forget it. Well, I'm going to keep my mouth shut now. Look what we do. We get a podcast about reviewing stuff, so here we go.
One more that I enjoyed was. I actually did enjoy the I Spit on Your Grave remake.
That was a decent remake. I agree.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, they definitely took a different, it was a different turn, for it. They followed the attackers more than they followed the victim, in that movie, which was different, And of course, I knew going into it that the revenge stuff was going to be a lot more elaborate than the original.
Mm-hmm. That end kill scene, jeez.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it was.
And I was kind of torn on that one, because the one thing that I loved about the original was like the fucking beautiful fucking simplicity of her revenge. It was just so simple and brutal. Like. There was not much to it, but it was fucking vicious. Yeah. And this one, it was a lot more elaborate. It was like something you would see in a fucking like a Saw movie, or
Well, yeah, it was something. It's like this is how MacGyver would get revenge on somebody.
Exactly. And,
system and all this kind of crazy crap.
It was a lot more elaborate, but fuck, I mean, I can't sit here and say that it wasn't cool to watch.
No, I agree.
It was pretty fun, so I enjoyed that one too. So I think those are
I think that that was a pretty good top 5. I'd be hard pressed to come up with something any better on the spot.
Yeah, those are a few of my favorites.
What was your favorite, Fred? Did you already talk about them? Or?
Well, that's what I was saying. I'd be hard pressed to come up with something better because, I mean, you pretty much nailed some really good ones. And, like, yeah, I didn't even think about The Thing. The Thing is arguably, that movie is just amazing.
That's arguably the best, but, I mean, for rewatchability, I think...
Night of the Living Dead 90 is amazing, too. So, like I said, dude, that's a pretty good list. I mean, I might be able to come up with one, but it would probably take me a couple days. But on the spot, that's a pretty good list.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
I'll endorse it.
Definitely.
Yeah. Thanks for writing in, Chris.
Yeah, thank you, Chris.
Keep it up. We need some more questions that we can talk about. It's kind of bare bones right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know.
Quit being shy, fuckers. Come on.
I know. Go to the Facebook page, put some questions on there, or
even if it's just something like fucking goofy and stupid.
Ask me questions. I will tell you things about my body.
Yeah, we are not above.
I'm open.
Nothing new.
I'm hung like a moose.
A baby moose.
That's right.
Baby moose is still bigger than your biggest dude.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
I wouldn't know that firsthand, but I would guess so. Maybe, I don't know. I do want to thank, before we go, some of our local talent here for contributing some music to this show.
Exactly.
Our friends in The Clincher and our friends from Cursed by Moonlight.
Yeah.
For contributing. The Clincher song was Slaughter of Souls, which is one of my favorites of theirs. And the song from Cursed by Moonlight was Rebellion of the Angel. And both of those bands are fucking awesome and a lot of fun. I hope, for big things from both of them, because they're fucking great bands, great people. So I want to thank them for sure.
And also a shout out to RedRocket's Broham. I don't know if you want to give him a shout out there, Red.
Well, I was waiting for you guys to give it out. Then I would have definitely been all up in your business. But yeah, he gave another piece as well. He co-wrote the theme with myself, which is amazing. We're very happy with that. So, and he makes a lot of good stuff. So his stuff will be appearing and popping up in segments as well. So,
I think his theme is going to be our exit song in the podcast, because was he the same one that made our intro music? You and him? Was it?
Yeah,
your same brother.
Yeah, me and him. Yeah.
So basically, it's going to be a intro from RedRocket and his bro, and a exit from RedRocket and his bro. So
sweet.
Or just his bro.
Yeah, he just did that one.
Oh, he just did this one. Okay.
This one is just him. Yeah, all him. So.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, great stuff, and yeah, we really appreciate it. I mean, go to their Facebook pages and give them a like.
Yeah, definitely. They're all on Facebook.
Cursed by Moonlight and The Clincher. And hopefully your bro doesn't have a Facebook, music Facebook, does he?
No, he doesn't. Just go stalk his, private one.
Okay. That'll work.
Yeah. One more shout out to Synapse Films and Camp Motion Pictures.
That's right.
For sending us those movies to check out. Very, very cool of them. We really appreciate it, and we hope to keep getting stuff from them in the future. So,
most def.
So Synapse and Camp, keep sending us shit.
Yeah, because we're really enjoying it. Yeah,
yes, we love what you guys are all doing, and we definitely support it. So keep it coming.
Hell yeah. Well, I think that'll do it for the show, guys. Next week, not next week, next episode. Hopefully here in the next 2 weeks, we're going to be putting out a interview with Rain Brown. That's the announcement for this end of the episode. We had a interview with her a few days ago, and she's a great interview. A lot of fun.
She kicked fucking ass.
Yeah, she's one of the goddess of the indie genre right now.
Hell yeah, indie horror queen, man. One of them.
Indie horror queen. That is true. So we're going to be dropping that here in the next couple weeks. It's going to be its own show. It's going to be a short little show. So then after that show, we have a special Halloween episode that we won't give away too much, but this is going to be, let's just say, this is going to be a great show. I'm really, really excited about this, guys. I don't know. This whole crisp, cool, it's cool outside. It's the leaves are falling, and I'm starting to get hard.
Definitely.
Because it's Halloween, so it's that time of year. Let's just say that.
And, we do have another... RedRocket just did an interview, his first.
Yeah.
Flew solo on that one with Daniel Tidwell. Of YouTube fame.
Hell yeah.
So that'll be coming too also, right, Red?
Yeah, honestly, on the side, guys, I figured that would be a launch for the website. I don't know if we'd have room for that on an episode, especially with Rain Brown on the next one. But
the Rain Brown interview is just going to be, I think, kind of a thing unto itself. So the Daniel Tidwell thing, it could be a thing unto itself also.
Yeah.
It's its own thing.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, we definitely want to get him out there. DanielTidwell.com. Check him out on his YouTube channel as well. He blends video game classic themes with heavy metal, and it's just undeniably good. It's ear candy. So just
this guy is extremely talented. Let me just say that.
Yeah. He makes me really sick to my stomach because, as I put it to him in the interview, me and my brother were very big fans of his, and he actually inspired us to try and do the same thing, and we did. We were coming together with our compositions of these classic tracks that he didn't do, and I told him, I said, so basically he's good at the editing stuff that you are. He's good at the production, and I'm the actual one that plays the instruments, and even together it takes two of us to get about half of you. And he took that with a chuckle, but it's the truth.
Nice.
He's very good, so check him out.
Sweet.
Hell yeah.
Well, yeah, we're kind of working on a little bit of new formats. I mean, we're kind of throwing out these little interview segments as maybe like mini shows type of thing. We're gonna see if this takes off a little bit because we want to get more out to you guys. I mean, we don't just want like one episode a month or anything like that. We're kind of behind this month, but we want to get more out to you guys, and so I don't know. We're gonna try something new. So, I mean, if it takes off, we're going to stick with it. But that's all I have to say about that.
Sticking together, good waffles do.
All right, well, fuck. Is that about it, then?
That's about it.
All right, well, fuck. Thanks, everybody, for listening. We really appreciate it. And, like we said, write into us. Don't be shy.
Facebook. We know
If
you all have a Facebook.
Yeah, we know you're all on there. Come on.
And this is the RiverMan.
And the Lush.
And Rocket.
And you're listening to Behind the Mask.